through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma.
Give me a freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
I don't read the internet, guys.
Take the bull by the hands.
And Brooke, you are. And Brooke, you are.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Saul.
All right, hello. Good morning, everybody. Brock and Salk Show, Seattle Sports on 710. SeattleSports.com, Seattle Sports app, podcast platforms, 97.3 HD2, and YouTube all spot. Man, we got a lot of YouTube subscribers. Man, you know, we got over 100,000 YouTube subscribers here on the station. Not just for the show, but for the station. How about that? Over 100, I think it's like 110,000 YouTube subscribers. I don't know what you're doing if you're not subscribed to us on YouTube. I don't know what your problem is. I don't know if you don't know how to use it, or if you're unaware of all of the benefits, or if you're just lazy. I don't know. I mean, I'm happy to talk through it with you if you've got some sort of a problem. Well, I'm just saying, like, I want smart people here, right? I want our listeners to have a dedication. And if you haven't subscribed on YouTube yet, I don't know what to tell you. We've like doubled that in a year. It's pretty crazy. So, yeah, thanks for joining us. I think they're honestly, legitimately, jokes aside, I think there's like some really cool YouTube stuff along the way. Is eventually, I think we're going to redo this studio so that it looks a little bit more YouTube friendly, and the backgrounds behind us and all of that. The company's put a lot of money into the video element of what we do here at the station. And, yeah, jump on board because there is some really cool stuff. Speaking of jumping on board, I don't care how jaded you are. I don't care. I don't care how angry you are as a Mariner fan, rightfully so at times. I don't care how many times you've said there's nothing this team can do to get me back on board. I don't care how many times you have sworn them off for good. You can't help but be at least a little intrigued, at least a little excited after what you saw last night. You can't help it. You can't help it. That's the team. Right? That's the team that we thought we were going to see all year long. We haven't. It's been 5 months. There's absolutely no evidence whatsoever to suggest that it's going to continue again tomorrow or tonight. But that's the team that we were promised. That's
the one that
team.
Julio and Cal are the leaders of?
Yeah. The one with the two stars in the middle and guys like Randy Arozarena playing a great complimentary piece. Same with Dom Canzone, Logan Gilbert, a bullpen that was flawless. That's the team.
Runners get their leads. Here's the pitch. Julio swinging a drive. Deep to left field. Going. And the Mariners have the lead. 3-1 over the Phillies. Goodbye, baseball. That was a rocket into the Phillies bullpen. Julio Rodriguez with his 20th home run of the season. And I'm telling you, folks, that was a no-doubter.
That was indeed a screaming Mimi. That was a rocket. That was crushed off the bat of Julio. It got out fast. There was no doubt. There wasn't much doubt about Cal's either, the first one or the second or the third, because he hit 3 of them yesterday. Look, I know what I promised a couple of weeks ago. I know what I said. I said I would not get excited about this Mariner team unless they won at least 4 out of 5. And they haven't done that yet. So I'm not going to sit here and crown them or anything else. But they have won 3 of 4. They have won 4 of 6. And they have won 6 of 9. Now, they're going to have to do better than that.
I'm more interested in stringing some series.
Absolutely. Maura, I get it. I'm not, as I said, they haven't reached the point yet where I'm willing to take my life in my hands here and say that I feel good about where they're going. But 3 of 4, 4 of 6, 6 of 9, and they've done that as part of this really difficult stretch against very good competition where they're going back and forth to the East Coast. There is some relevance to that. right? It wasn't just that they scored 9 runs on 5 home runs, 3 of them from Cal Raleigh last night. It's that they did it against Zach Wheeler and the Phillies. It's not
Who had won 9 straight.
It's not agreed. It's not just that they have won 3 out of 4. It's that those 4 games came against the Cubs and the Phillies, 2 of the 4 or 5 best teams in baseball, right? I mean, along with what? The Braves, Brewers, and Dodgers? Rays? Okay, 6 teams. Those 6 are probably the 6 teams that have the best shot at winning a World Series this year. Okay, well, it's 2 of the 6, right? The 2 wins that came before that were against the Astros, who until yesterday were in first place. So while it's very frustrating and it's easy to get caught up in a narrative that, quite frankly, has come true over and over again this year, you can't watch last night's game and not at least see what the idea was. Are all of the problems that they have still relevant? Yeah, they are. They're absolutely still relevant. They're still having major, major issues. The decision-making process, the injuries and ups and downs, some of the struggles of key players on the team, none of those go away because of what you saw last night. And quite frankly, they're about to have to make another difficult decision as they're back to having 6 starters on the roster, and they're going to have to figure out a way through that. And we'll discuss that in some greater detail at 7:30. But the reality of it is they're still only a couple games back. It's why I said yesterday, I do think they're going to not win the pennant necessarily. I don't say that. But I do think that they are going to make the playoffs. I don't know that. And that got out on social media yesterday through the station account, and all the responses, not surprisingly, are like, shut up, you suck up. That's what I was looking for. That's the word we can say on the radio. Suck up. Yeah. And I understand that for anyone who only saw the tweet and didn't read the actual article or listen to what I said yesterday, because that is essentially like, I think they're going to make the playoffs because I can't believe how bad the division is. It's terrible. I mean, like, these teams are all awful. And the Mariners are still built better than them. Doesn't mean they're perfect, because they're not. Doesn't even mean they're good, because I'm not sure they are. But when you see the team that was always, sort of promised to us, that we all thought was a possibility in March, even if it's just for a night in September, or maybe here for these last 5, 6, 9, 10 games, it's a reminder that the Astros and the Rangers and the Guardians, most of those teams don't have that. They just don't. The Orioles, they just don't have it. The Mariners do. They've just got more talent. They have found ways to not utilize it this year. We got a lot of guys who've been awful, and I'm not saying that one game should overcome 5 months of incredible frustration in watching this team disappoint. But the reason that we can say it disappointed is because there was an expectation level based on the talent they have. It's why I've never backed off the talent thing every time Brock tries to tell me they don't have enough talent. They do have enough talent. You see it last night. They just need to deliver. They just need to play up to that level of talent. So I don't know if that's going to happen today or tomorrow or the day after, or when they go out on the road when the Phillies series is done. I don't know what's going to happen next. No one does. But teams do wake up. Teams do all of a sudden get hot. And as we've said, 1 or 2 good weeks, and if it comes now, before you take on the easy part of your schedule, I just don't think it's that hard for this team to make the playoffs based on what's around them and based on the position they're in. But they got to play a whole lot more like they did last night and a whole lot less like they have for most of the 5 months this season.
I don't think you're going to get yelled at too much for that. The text line is the most positive I've seen it in some time.
Wow. Very exciting.
People are happy after last night.
Well, they should be. That was awesome. You took Zach Wheeler, knocked him out of the game in 4 innings. Dude's one of the best in the game. They destroyed him. I love it. So, look, I don't know what's going to happen next. I really don't. And I'm not going to sit here and be like, I'm not going to say to circle the date again or anything like that. But all of these games have the markings. The thing is, every time, they get beat by 19 runs, they turn around and win the next day. Unfortunately, every time you think they're about to turn the corner and get on a run, they find a way to lose by 19 runs. So let's hope they don't do that tonight. We'll come right back. I'll give you guys everything you need to know next. It's Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710.
Why are we walking? Let's go!
The defending champs are in the home stretch of training camp.
It's filling in the little gaps that really brings this team together.
Stay plugged into the very latest moves, news, and everything Seahawks at seattlesports.com.
I want to see the competition with Diggs here.
And the most important Seahawks conversations.
This Montori Foster, he'll play special teams. He's an absolute dog.
On the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
This hour is brought to you by Goldberg and Jones.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
When it comes to my policy, Farmers gives it to me straight, so there's no surprises.
It's your coverage. You should never be confused.
You hear that? An insurance provider with a conscience.
We're a choir, but yes, we have that too.
Straightforward coverage you can literally understand. That's what you get when
you have Farmers. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
Learn more at farmers.com. Underwritten by Farmers Truck or Fire Insurance Exchanges or Affiliate. Products not available in every state.
We'll work hard to get you the best deal we can. And I know you've heard that before. But when that promise comes from Lee Johnson dealerships, you can count on it.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-346-2476. 800-346-2476. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-346-2476.
I started Davis Law Group in 1994 to fight for the underdog. And as our team has grown, we've stayed true to that mission. Today, Davis Law Group is known for providing excellent service and even better results. Visit WashingtonAccidentBooks.com to get your free book on car accident law.
Chris Canty here. Football season is back, and Lids has you covered. Just in time for kickoff. Want the latest headwear to rep your team at the tailgate, at the barbecue, or at the game? Shop the 47 brand NFL collection. Exclusively in store at your local Lids. This collection puts a new spin on retro NFL gear. Lids has every fan covered with all 32 teams, featuring the big time hits and alternate team logos. You'll find the perfect fit for every Sunday. Selection may vary by store.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Mariners and Phillies tonight at T-Mobile. 6:40 first pitch, 5:30 pregame. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
Is your car's AC blowing warm air? Don't sweat it. Bucky's Complete Auto Care is here to help. Right now, you'll save $50 on any AC service. Whether it's a weekend getaway or the daily commute, you deserve a cool, comfortable ride. For over 50 years, local drivers have trusted Bucky's for honest pricing, expert repairs, and guaranteed work, earning them the Carfax Preferred status. 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing. For $50 off your cooling system service, visit Bucky's.com.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist. I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Want to see the defending Super Bowl champion Seahawks open the 2026 season against the Patriots September 9th?
Seattle Sports is giving away 4 tickets.
Holy catfish! All you have to do is open the Seattle Sports app and enter.
You can enter once a day from August 25th through August 31st to boost your chances.
Full details at seattlesports.com/win.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Presented by Marquee Data. Here's what you need to know. Up first.
I'll say this, when the Mariners put it all together, you can sure see the glimpses of that team we all expected before the season began. Getting on base, big stars, hitting big home runs. They sure got it yesterday. Julio going deep first. Cal followed it up.
Mariners ended up winning that game in the 10 innings. Here's a swing and a high fly ball deep to right field. A towering shot. Harper going back, and goodbye baseball. Cal Raleigh with a rainmaker. It almost touched the roof of T-Mobile Park. A 2-run rainbow of a home run off the bat of the Big Dumper, his 15th home run of the season. Mariners' second home run here in the bottom of the first inning, and it's now the Mariners 5 and the Phillies 1. Holy smokes. What a shot by Cal Raleigh.
Yeah, that was his first of 3 on the night. He gets to 17 on the year. Julio gets to 20. Cole Young added a home run. He gets to 16. He was ahead of Cal when the night began, which is kind of crazy. Anyway, you do all that, and that's how you end Philly's win streak, right? That's how you put yourself in position to win another series against a very good NL contending team. Dan Wilson, pretty excited about his offense from the Stars.
Huge lift. I mean, I think we talked about last night and today, just, needing to bounce back again today. And that's the way to do it. You come right out, you come flying. And to capitalize, on that pitch right there with 2 strikes was huge. Getting 2 guys on, no question, was big. And then to get 3 on the scoreboard right there was just the lift that we needed. And I think it kind of inspired everybody and gave us the lift and the confidence. And the guys responded to it as we kept going.
Yeah, all good news on the Mariners side last night. Unfortunately, outside, everyone else basically won. Texas, Minnesota, Cleveland, all winners. So actually, the Rangers move into a solo lead in the AL West, rather. Mariners are still a couple games back. 2 more with Philly. You got George Kirby and Aaron Nola in another very good pitching matchup tonight.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Well, then after that, it will be indeed Brian Wu making his next start tomorrow. There was some question about it. He came through his bullpen okay. Says he should be good to go. Here's Justin Hollander.
Brian felt really good. I was able to watch his flat ground in Milwaukee and his flat ground here before he went out to the pen. I think it was the right thing to do to follow him out to the pen in either case. But I thought, me personally, he looked very comfortable and very much like Brian Wu on the flat ground here the other day. And from what I understand, it was much better in the pen as well. He feels 100% confident that he's ready to go for his next turn, which is Wednesday.
All right, good. Well, all of that is good news because they could really use him, especially the home version of him that has been so dominant this year. Now, here's the thing. It does mean the team is back to having 6 starters plus an off day on Thursday. So what are we going to talk about? Is there somebody moving to the pen? If there's not going to be an IL stint for Bryce Miller, then are we talking 6-man? Are we talking piggyback again? All of those are, I think, pretty reasonable conversations. One little good news, though. We might get Matt Brash back on the mound hopefully soon. I don't know. Here's what Hollander said.
Matt Brash is going to throw off the mound today. Again, it's just kind of pen by pen progression. See how it goes. I don't have like a formal timeline on he will be in rehab games on this date. But he'll throw off the mound today. We'll see how that goes, and we'll progress to the next thing day to day. It's a little unusual. Usually you guys don't get to see this part of a progression, but we do think it's good for him to be here, be with Woody and Trent and our training staff every day. So we'll just continue with the rehab process. We'll see how today goes, and we'll go from there.
I just personally have missed watching Matt Brash. Obviously, he would have helped with this bullpen over the course of the season just because he's a good player. But beyond that, I think he's one of the most fun players on the team to watch. So, yeah, just been a little bit of a bummer. Colt Emerson will stay on the IL for the rest of the year. Shortstop is going to have wrist surgery, which will end the season, but should have him ready for the spring. Overall numbers for his debut, not great, obviously. Hit just 190 and OPS under 600, but how much of that was due to the wrist, right? The number started strong and then quickly fell off. Hopefully that's connected to the injury. J.P. Crawford, speaking of wrist injuries, may be back as soon as today. He could be activated.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
All right, Seahawks back in town for kind of a shorter week of practice. They host Kansas City on Friday night in their final preseason game. We will get another episode of Hard Knocks tonight. Now, is everybody being legit? Here's Leonard Williams on the Big Dubs podcast with Jamal Williams.
I understand that it gives guys opportunities outside of football to showcase their personality, showcase their interests and hobbies and adventures and anything they want to do outside of football pretty much. I think it's a cool opportunity to have them here for that. But at the same time, it is interesting because people are acting different for sure.
Yeah. It's weird, ain't it? It's literally you see when people get in front of a camera.
Yeah, and some of these YNs, some of the young guys on the team, there's a new term going around that I never heard before, but they call it clip farming. So whenever there's a camera around and someone starts acting different or acting extra around the cameras, everybody's like, hey, you clip farming, stuff like that. So
yeah, it feel like that sometimes, bro.
It's pretty funny.
So I don't have a huge problem with that, and I like that they're getting called out for it as well. Again, I don't have a lot of concerns about Hard Knocks. I can't wait for tonight. My only fear at all, and it's not necessarily a real thing, is that with all of the attention that has been put on Mike McDonald, I hope that doesn't rub any of the players the wrong way. And it has nothing to do with Mike himself or anything he's done. It's just the choices that HBO has made to focus so much on the coach. I hope that everyone keeps that in context. Hawks, by the way, did cut running back Anthony Hankerson yesterday. He apparently is going to go back to college. So I don't know what's going to happen to the world. Hopefully everyone will continue to wake up tomorrow. Well, with somebody going back to college after being in the pros. All right, that's everything you need to know. 1/4 every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show. It's funny how people freaked out about that one. I understand it's never been that way before, but everything has changed. And I'm not saying it's all changed for the good. I don't even know if this is for the good.
I think that's what it is. I think it's just another thing to add to the pile, and everyone's like, what is happening here?
I know, this one just doesn't bother me as much as the others. I hate the nonstop free agency of college. I think that's ridiculous. You can't build a team that way. But
to me, this is just going to add to that.
It could.
You're just putting more guys back in the mix to make other guys want to go somewhere else.
Yeah, that part stinks. But that doesn't seem to be what it is that most people are upset about. They're just upset that somebody left and now they're coming back. Yeah, all right. He left and he's coming back. I don't know, just that part doesn't really bother me. He tried it. It didn't work out. He's coming back. I'd rather have the guy have an opportunity to continue to play in college than just be on the street, go make $25,000 a year. I don't know. It just doesn't bother me that much. Okay, whatever.
It feels like it's one of the first tough decisions that they have to make, and now they can just flip flop.
Okay. I don't know. That just doesn't bother me that much. Okay, so
it used to be a big deal to declare that you wanted to go.
Well, it's not anymore. Okay. It's not a big deal to me. All right, 2026 NFL season kicks off September 9th at Lumen Field. We want to send one of you and 3 of your friends to be there in person. Defending Super Bowl champs, the Seahawks, going to open the season against, the Patriots, right? Rematch of the Super Bowl. All you need to do is open the Seattle Sports app and find out how to enter. If you don't already have the app, text the word app, APP, to 866-979-3776. We'll send you a link to download it. Enter every day to increase your chance to win. Contest will run through Monday, August 31st. All right. Jeff Passan's going to join us a little bit later in the show. We need submissions, speaking of the Seattle Sports app, for Here's the Thing, which, of course, will be on Thursday. How was it last week? Were there good messages?
We had to pressure them that morning to get a few last-minute
I don't like that.
in.
I don't like that. All right, people, come on. Get on your horse. Leave us a good message for Here's the Thing through the Seattle Sports app. Ryan Divish next on Brock and Salk.
Seahawks training camp with Wyman and Bob. Afternoons 2 to 7.
Rashid Shaheed is with us. How are you, man?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Did this feel like the perfect fit?
I just felt like I fit the culture so well. Everybody here just works so hard and is so determined each and every day to improve and get better. Where everybody is excited for work. I'm excited to go out and practice and just be around the guys and just, keep our head down and grind towards, our one goal and mission, and that was to win the Super Bowl.
Watch live or later on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
There's a sink at the brink and a drain that's a pain.
DayandNight.net. Slow drain? Backed up toilet? Call Day and Night to save $100 off any drain cleaning.
Hi, I'm Bruce with Day and Night Plumbing and Heating. From a slow drain to a major backup, no drain is too big or too small. Whether we're your first choice or smart second opinion, I guarantee our experts will solve any drain problem, day or night.
Now get $100 off any drain cleaning. DayandNight.net.
Do you have stiff laundry or scale buildup on your sinks and showers? Those are classic signs of hard water. At Culligan, they deliver softer, cleaner water throughout your entire home. A Culligan water softener removes the hardness from your water and extends the life of your appliances. Plus, it can improve the quality of your skin and hair. Ask about 12-month, no payment, no interest financing too. Go to Culligan.com. That's Culligan.com. Contaminants or impurities may not be in your water.
Hey everyone, Rick Witters with Cressy Door. At Cressy Door, we offer top-of-the-line garage door service, and garage door repairs. Residential or commercial, please consider Cressy Door for all of your garage door needs. Cressy Door.
Hey Seattle, Jake Bobo from Techline Roofing. Are you in the market for a new roof? With the strongest workmanship warranty in the business, Techline Roofing has you covered. Take advantage of our easy financing and our summer special. Trust Techline.
Toyota of Renton and Toyota of Kirkland are celebrating Toyota's national sales event with additional inventory on 2026 Tundras and Tacomas. Through August 31st, lease the Tacoma SR5 at $309 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing, or finance at 3.99% APR for 48 months, plus $500 TFS finance subvention cash. Excludes all applicable taxes and government fees. A negotiable dock fee of $200 is included with approved credit from TFS. Price will vary based on accessories. Whether you're in the north or the south, they've got you covered. ToyotaRenton.com and ToyotaofKirkland.com.
O'Brien Empowered.
Ellie here is getting the sleeve she's always dreamed of. She worked with Empower and planned for her next move, so she got good at money. Now she can be a little bad. Oh, by the way, you spelled journey wrong. No worries. She can afford the cover-up, too. Ooh, check out my tat. It says, invest well, live a little. Start today at Empower.com.
Michelle here. Look, in sports, the best teams know when to make their move. Sherwin-Williams is making theirs with 30% off Duration, Super Deck, and Woodscapes products. August 14th through the 24th. You know, I'm looking at these studio walls and I'm thinking I wouldn't mind a little more red in here. Get that Cardinal spirit going. Yeah, I like that. Order online, get everything delivered right to your door, or swing by your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
Experience the thrill of the Kitsap Fair and Stampede, August 26th through the 30th. Celebrate local agricultural heritage and get up close with the community's agricultural roots through 4-H and FFA livestock exhibits, still life displays, and educational showcases that highlight the rich farming history of the Kitsap Peninsula. Kitsap Fair and Stampede runs August 26th through the 30th. Don't miss it. Get your tickets and info at kitsapfair.org. That's kitsapfair.org.
Nobody gets you closer to the action at Seahawks training camp than the home of the Seahawks.
I see you, boy!
Seattle Sports.
If there's one thing you can count on, it's 24/7 protection when you bundle home and auto insurance with Progressive. And if there's two things you can count on, it's your smoke detector battery dying at 3 a.m. Not 3 p.m. on a Saturday when you have nothing going on, but in the middle of the night when you're fast asleep.
Oh, come on!
Get 24/7 protection when you bundle home and auto with Progressive. Just one more thing you can count on. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
When you see this in your kitchen,
the stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
you hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves, or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman's stainless steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
If you have unpaid tax debt to the IRS that you can't pay, please hear this special notice. Specially approved IRS relief programs designed to aid delinquent taxpayers are now in effect that can significantly improve your financial situation. Depending on your circumstances, you may qualify to have your tax problem resolved in your favor and may even have your back taxes reduced by thousands or eliminated entirely. A relief hotline has been established by Community Tax for you to call and see if you qualify at 800-224-4083. If you owe the IRS back taxes that you can't afford to pay, don't let the IRS trick you into thinking you have no way out. Our highly accredited tax professionals will let you know what you qualify for and how much you can save. We may be able to stop all liens, garnishments, levies, and save you thousands. Call and see if you qualify for this taxpayer relief at 800-224-4083. 800-224-4083. That's 800-224-4083.
Brock and Salk's Rewind is presented by Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton.
This hour is brought to you by Goldberg and Jones.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
I will admit, I was thinking about our next guest a little bit over the last few days. We got an epidemic, Brock.
Yeah?
We got an epidemic in this country. And maybe it's not this country. Maybe it's the whole world. I don't want to speak for where this is most prevalent, but people truly are completely unaware of their surroundings and don't seem to care about it at all. I can't even tell you how many people, now this is in Vegas for a couple of days, just stop. Like you're walking on a side, like everyone's walking. Everyone's moving roughly the same pace in the airport, on the sidewalk, on the strip, wherever. And they just stop.
So I got dog
What is going on with people?
I got dog cussed in the parking lot the other day. Like I've never been cussed at before.
Did you just randomly stop?
No. So I'm driving, and now that I'm wearing contacts, like I can see things I've never seen before. So Molly's right. There have been times that maybe I've invaded a pedestrian space a little bit, gotten a little too close without my contacts.
Yeah.
Now I see it left and right, and I could see this guy. He's coming out of Ace Hardware. He's holding a bag of fertilizer, soil, or something, and he's aimlessly like walking. And this is a busy parking lot. He's aimlessly walking in the middle of the road.
Get out of the road.
So I am like slow playing, and finally I do creep up on him, and he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Get out of the road!"
Right.
And he just
you were in the right.
I was.
We had a couple, Brock. We're taking a moving walkway. They get off the moving walkway and they just stand there. The only thing that's going to happen is people are going to crash into you. I swear.
You run them over?
I wanted to. Unfortunately, they were a little aged. Ryan Divish joining us now. This is why Ryan's just going to move to Montana and we'll never see him again because people drive him so crazy. Hi, Ryan. How are you?
I'm good. Someday I'll tell you the story about the guy in the middle seat on my flight to Pittsburgh who needed the extender, and I went to get up, and I felt something dripping onto my leg, and it was him sweating.
Ew!
On my leg, and I was wearing shorts.
Ew!
I told Stelton that story while he was trying to eat his dinner. It was one of the funnier things I've ever seen. He just sat there, just so repulsed.
Ryan Divish, the odds that the 62 and 69 Seattle Mariners make the playoffs to Ryan Divish are what?
Oh, man. I'd say probably about 40%, just because of how easy their schedule is and how difficult the Astros schedule gets. I mean, like, I honestly envision somebody winning the American League West with 80 wins. I don't think it's going to be a winning record. It might be 80 wins. That's how bad it is. I mean, the Astros just lost a series to the A's and fired their GM, which they were going to fire him anyways. They're going to fire Joe Espada after this year because Jim Crane is kind of that guy. But, I think maybe 40%. I don't even know. Like, I watched a couple of those games the other day, and all these, like, the Astros are so disjointed and so messed up with their pitching staff. And then you watch the Rangers, and they can't hit, and their bullpen finally came back to normal. And then you just watch the Mariners for 2 games and you think, oh my God, this is a legit playoff team. And then you watch when things start to go wrong and it snowballs, and then next thing you know, it's 19-2.
So the fewest wins ever recorded by a Major League Baseball division champion in a full non-shortened season is 1973 and the 2005 Padres. Both ended their seasons with 82 wins. So you think the American League West won't even take 82?
Yeah, and I think, honestly, if you go back and look in 94 before the strike, I think that there was a losing record for the American League West in that year, too, as well. But then the strike came, so it was going to be a team that had a losing record was leading the division at that point. But, yeah, I mean, I do think it'll be about 80 wins. I don't see – like, you watch Houston, you watch Texas – and I watch the Mariners, I don't see a team that's capable of winning like 4 out of 5 right now. They don't, like, it's so, like, maddening to watch because the consistency level of baseball, it's like watching, honestly, it's like watching when I was coaching Legion, just the inconsistency from game to game. And, like, you know, it's something as simple as, like, Randy, when you got a national TV audience, he hits the homer, he's got good energy, he beats out a double play for a hit and make some plays. And then yesterday, that ball lands in no man's land. He got a bad jump and then didn't really kind of try and make up for the bad jump by busting it and going to get it, And I know they were losing, so it doesn't really matter. But it's just like the team is maddening to watch. Like it is frustrating to watch for like, and I'm not a fan. It's just maddening to watch because it's so inconsistent in terms of the quality of baseball.
Right.
This is like going back to when, the Jack C years when they were going to lose 100 games and he was playing all these quad A guys trying to see if there was lightning in a bottle with one guy, and they were striking out like 19 times a game, like Trayvon Robinson, and they were pitching this Rob Rasmussen guy, all these guys that they got that were all borderline major leaguers. And you understood then why the consistency was why it was so inconsistent, because they weren't major league players. But these are basically, the Mariners are rolling out major league players, 75% of their roster right now, like valid major league players, and you're still getting an inconsistency that speaks to what you would get if you were in a rebuilding mode.
So, Ryan, I think you and I see a lot of this very similarly. And by the way, I think not only could 80 wins win the AL West, I think 80 wins could also win the third wild card. You might end up with 2 teams in the postseason that both have under 500 records. Crazy. The inconsistency, a lot of it does seem to be tied to sloppiness. Can you help, Brock? I know loves to use the word accountability. Can you help us understand what accountability has looked like on this team this year?
It's a word that gets thrown out a lot. To me, I think it gets used vastly too much when most people don't exercise any level of personal accountability themselves. But the accountability is like sometimes just admitting like you made the mistake. Like I've always told players, a lot of times when I have conversations with them off the record or just talking with them, like, I'm never going to take a cheap shot at you in a story. And I'm never going to question whether or not, like, you're giving your effort or you're hurt and you're playing through injury and you're not really hurt or not. Like, I will always ask you all these things. But I said, if you mess up, and I don't use that language exactly, but if you mess up, I got to ask you if you mess up. And the answer usually is, yeah, I did. It won't happen again. I got to make that play or whatever. But it doesn't seem like we're seeing that. And maybe it's because we should ask more. But at the same time, it's like some of these are physical errors. Some of these are mental errors. The mental errors, we're not seeing. I did like that Julio came out and said the other day in Milwaukee, hey, look, I messed that up. I got to be better. And then even joked about it. But like, I don't know, the base running mistakes and stuff. And you'll say, yeah, that happens sometimes. Yeah, it does. But like when you're in September or you're in August and September and every game is meaningful and every mistake seems magnified because you don't hit, then it happens isn't really a good answer. The that's baseball answer isn't always good, especially when it's been a consistent problem.
Well, let me jump in a little bit more specifically because you mentioned Julio. I get it. Those things happen. He's right. Everyone forgets the outs at some point. And certainly, as he said, it's like a 15-minute inning. He's been out there forever. But I was a little surprised to see him in the lineup the next day. And then, okay, he was. But to see then a similar kind of mistake yesterday where he's still throwing the ball into the crowd as the inning is starting. Like, that's where I start to wonder a little bit about that word accountability and what it means from an organizational perspective.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing is like Dan, you know, and we've talked about this before on here, and I know I've mentioned it on, I think, with Bump and Stacy, just like the difference with part of the reason they went to Dan and they wanted to make the change from Scott is he was gripping it too tight. And some of the anxiety that he was feeling in that year, you know, he didn't have a contract extension. He was working in kind of a lame duck status, and then they started to lose, and you could just feel it gripping tight, and he was trying to do more, thinking that would be better. And really what the players wanted was for him to do less, believing that they could handle it. So they go get Dan. Dan gives the players ownership over their performance, ownership over the leadership, ownership over all the preparation and everything else to some level. And what we're seeing is that, you know, sometimes we're not seeing the accountability maybe held by the players that maybe Scott would have. You know, Scott never really – it took a lot for Scott to criticize a player or come out publicly. He always protected the players for the most part. But there was a tipping point, you know, and it came with Jesse Winker. It came with Gene Segura. It came at different points where he just – enough was enough, you know. And I'm not necessarily saying, hey, you know what, you got to sit the guy down, bench him or whatever. But there are ways to talk about that these mistakes are not acceptable to the public. I think the biggest problem I have, like, you know, Dan's managerial style and Dan's bullpen decisions and stuff, they are what they are. And you don't have to agree with them. And there are a lot of times where I don't necessarily understand what he's doing. But his inability to articulate what they're trying to do and what they're trying to accomplish on a daily basis, it leads to a level of misunderstanding and distrust because, you know, it's like some of the injury stuff. We don't know what's going on. He doesn't tell us really. Maybe he's trying to protect the guy or not. It's like the other night, I asked him after Brendan Donovan comes out, after the game, I said, hey, Dan, how did this happen? Well, and he said, I don't really know all the circumstances. And I'm sorry, but to me, if I'm the manager and my leadoff hitter, who has been very instrumental in this little recent surge of offense, gets hit in the beam with a baseball during pregame and can't play and possibly has a concussion, I want to know how the hell that happened. You know, whether it was a pitch or he got hit off a ricochet or whatever. And that's the thing is, like, I don't think he's trying to hide things from us. He's just not telling us stuff, but it doesn't inspire any sort of confidence in people to believe that they know what's going on because he doesn't articulate it. You know, it's the running joke. Tough one tonight.
It leaves a void, and people are going to fill in that void. It leaves it to interpretation. You know, and that's the one thing. Like, Scott wasn't great when he first started about doing this stuff, about explaining, but we had kind of, you know, Scott and I got into it more than a few times. And one time he just says, why do you ask questions that you know the answers to? And I said to him, I just kind of yelled at him. I go, I know every answer you're going to say. I said, it doesn't matter if I know it. You have to say it. I can't always just write it all the time. And I also told him, like, look, if you make a decision and it's like reliever or pinch hitter and we ask you about it post game and it's still that you don't give us a great answer, know that we're coming back and asking again the next day. So you better have an explanation. And so, like, a lot of times we're on a deadline, we can't sit there and get super granular and we haven't done the research, but we're going to ask you, we're going to continually ask you, and we have. And that's, I think, the biggest problem is like, I don't have a feel for how the Mariners want to play right now under Dan Wilson because it's like sometimes you think they're going straight by the script and the analytics and everything that they do pregame. And there are other times you're thinking, well, that doesn't seem right. That isn't part of the iPad script or whatever. You know, people always sit there and say Dan goes by the iPad. I think he goes off the iPad more than he goes on with some of the stuff he's doing. Mm-hmm. And part of it is because they put him in a situation where it's difficult to make some of these decisions with one less reliever, you know, an extra starter, and then sometimes bench guys and struggling bench guys and just a mix of odd players on the roster that have made it difficult for him to manage, especially given that he's not the most experienced guy. Like, you do this with Tito Francona, he'll figure it out because he's been doing it forever and he's managed teams where he's had to piece it together. But, like, this situation isn't ideal for somebody who's only been managing roughly for, you know, a season and a half or 2 seasons now. Ryan Divish here with us. Can you just help me understand this? And I'm not asking the question because I know the answer. I'm genuinely curious about this. We have watched Mike McDonald for 2 years, And he was much younger than Dan and stepped into the first-time head coaching role. And the one thing that Mike and I have marveled, I think, the most about Macdonald is every big decision in every game is thoughtful. You may not agree with all of them, but he takes in all the information. He's on the headsets with the special teams coach. He's on the headsets with the game management coordinator. He's doing all of that. He's got his analysis pregame, all the data, all the numbers. It's red, green, yellow. And he's got to do it, Ryan, much faster than Dan has to do in that dugout. It happens much, much quicker seconds-wise. Help me understand, like Cade Anderson Saturday, is that a decision that is he talking with Pete Woodworth? Were there analytics before the game? Is he conversing with Manny Acta? Is there a lot of intel that he's gaining? And then, you know what, they group think, make that decision like Mike Macdonald does with the Seahawks? Or from your experience, is this Dan just, playing the feel card with Cade on call it his first start Saturday?
Yeah, I think that was a little more of the feel card. I do think they do a lot of discussion in terms of they do more pregame meetings than any team I've ever covered. It started with Scott, but they have a ton of meetings every day, and they go over pitching situation. They got a meeting with the catcher and the starting pitcher and the backup catcher and pitching coach, and then they got meetings with the other pitchers. They got hitters meetings. They got meetings every day going over all these scenarios, and you have all these things figured out. And they knew that Cade hadn't gone over 80. But I do think, sometimes I think Dan's, I don't know if it's a weakness, but Dan wants to build this level of trust with the players, and he wants the players to trust in themselves. So, in that situation with Cade, he's at 72, goes back out for the sixth, kind of understand it. He pitched pretty well against PCA. And you're like, okay, well, it's lefty versus lefty. You're a little short in the bullpen. You don't want to burn guys this early. Mm-hmm. You want to stay in your leverage pocket. Okay, let's run Cade out there. So he gives up the double that should have been a homer by about, missed it by about 6 inches. Okay, well, maybe bring him out then. Then they get the gift. So he pitches to Suzuki, and they get the gift, double play where, PCA isn't paying attention on the bases. So then you got 2 outs, and you're thinking, oh man, let's pump this kid up. Let's get him through 6, and have him finish this. This is going to go big for him. So then he pitches to Bregman, gives up the bomb, and then you're like, all right, well, this didn't work. Are you going to leave him in now? Are you going to go? This is the first time. There's 46,000 people. The kid just gave up the game-tying home run to a guy they idolized growing up, and then you have him try and pitch to Michael Bush. And not surprisingly, the first pitch is kind of down the middle, George Kirby style, after something bad happens, and it gets hit. You want, so much of coaching is putting guys in a position where they can have their ultimate success. And part of that also thinking is how do you build this guy up so that he believes that he's always going to do this? I don't think you really need to do that with Cade, maybe because he's pretty confident. But I think that I thought once PCA got on, maybe make the change. Make a change there.
And you had
you can argue whether or not he should have started. I mean, because there would have been a large group of people saying he's at 72 pitches. At least let him start the 6th.
Yeah.
See if he can finish it.
John Smoltz argued that. I understand that.
John Smoltz wanted to throw 130.
No.
Yeah. That, dude. That's a tough listen. God bless Aaron Goldsmith, but that's a tough listen. There's a lot of talking there. When Riz said that Niehaus told him once you don't have to talk so much. I just want Goldie to do that sometimes because it's a lot. But no, I understand what Dan was trying to accomplish by leaving him in.
Yeah.
But you're also in a point in the season where these games matter, and you got to start managing like that. We saw it with Counsell yesterday. Shota was throwing 77 pitches for every batter, got him out. Now, he had a full bullpen, and the Mariners didn't with Bryce. But, you have to start managing these games. It's so strange to me because – and I remember you were going off on this, and I kind of looked side-eyes at it. But last year when Dan says, we're going to win, it's every 162 battles and all this stuff. And I was thinking to myself, the emotion and the mentally draining aspect and the emotional aspect of that, trying to win every night like it's like a playoff game. I didn't know if that was possible. But right now, they're the antithesis of that. Mm-hmm. You want to build up Cade's confidence and you want him to leave feeling good, but I'm sorry, you could have left him. He gives up the double to PCA. He walks off the mound. He's still got a lead. You're still in line to win. And, I think that's just as much logical thinking as trying to leave him in.
And the 162 battles thing, you're right. I like you, we were both, I think, a little concerned by that, but they seem to have a pretty good understanding of what it meant. This year, they haven't been ready to play. I think that's what's been so frustrating is yes, they've just exactly as you said, they've played the long game almost to a fault, but also just how many nights they're not really prepared. They're not focused. They're not even giving themselves a real chance.
Well, you hear from the team across the street all the time, and even in the preseason game last night, loose but focused.
Yeah,
loose but focused. Leonard Williams talking about that. Sam Darnold talking about it. We have a looseness to us, but man, when it's time to work, there is an intentional, incredible focus. And 130-something games in, Ryan, I think that's the most challenging. You're frustrated watching it. Fans are hyper frustrated because the focus, the attention to detail from your best players on down on a nightly basis isn't there. So does that switch flip? Does this schedule?
I don't know.
Does this schedule allow?
You know what's funny is like on Sunday when I went in, or yesterday morning when I went in there, and the clubhouse was very loose. You know, it's just like it felt a lot like last season, where, you know, you're winning and you're playing well and everybody's happy, you know, and stuff like that. Because there has been like, you know, I don't think that they're like, there's been a tension because they're just not performing, and there's so many guys not performing up to their standards. There's a tension. And so, you know, they're trying to put in extra work, or they're doing all this, doing all that, because they know like this matters so much more, and they put themselves in this position, and it's like they're trying to make up for what has transpired through the season. And to me, like, that's the worst mentality you can have. Is like, you can't get back to how bad you were in the first half and what you lost because of injury or poor performance. But you can, like, now, if you're talking about 35 battles or whatever it is left, that's the mentality you need to have now, is like, go in with the battle every night. But what I have noticed, and I think you guys see it too sometimes, is like, when they come out and play well early in the first couple innings, or if something good happens in the first couple innings, they usually roll. But we've seen so much of it snowball on them that, like, something bad happens, pitcher makes a bad pitch, then an error happens or a mistake, and they just don't execute well enough offensively or sometimes defensively to offset all of that. And that being said, too, they weren't that crisp last year. Now, I came back from my sabbatical and I'm watching. I'm like, yeah, they're okay. But there was one guy that would hit a 3-run home run every other game, it seemed like, when they were down 2 and put them ahead. Like, they don't have that guy right now. They have Randy, and Randy's basically carried them. But, like, when they get down 2 or 3, like last year, they still believed they would come back and win every one of those games because they had the aircraft carrier in the middle that was hitting bombs. And if you look at it, Julio hit 30 bombs last year. Like, they don't have that. Like, they're looking around now going, man, 3 runs is a lot when we struggle to score 2 over 7 innings. And I think that plays into your mentality, whether you sit there and say or not, or next pitch or whatever. What you've done all season can't soon be forgotten. You can wash it, and baseball players are the best at compartmentalizing failure and moving past it to some level, but it's still there. They're human. You know, here we go again mentality. You know, whereas like, and again, you can practice all you want. That's the one thing too that's different. Like, and McDonald, like people always talk about, I'm like, he's a college baseball player. He wasn't a football player. He's got a different mindset, but they can practice all the things they messed up right away. Like, you know, and you have the film and you can spend time looking at it. Like, you know, Mara's got to play today. Did you as much as everything went wrong yesterday, they got to play.
You got a lot to say today. You've got a lot. We got to end this. Unfortunately, Bump and Stacy are like crowding the other room, ready to come in. I feel like you have another hour of conversation in you, Ryan. I'm sorry.
Well, you know, I mean, you guys like Adam better than me. You
oh, boy. Here we go. Here we
go. One day at T-Mobile, a fan. Me and Adam were walking off the field, and the fan yells, "Jerry, can I get an autograph?"
Oh, my gosh.
This is amazing.
Here we go. Ryan, thank you, as always. We'll talk soon. We got to go. Ryan Divish of the Seattle Times. The great Ryan Divish. A lot of fun yesterday, and while the tone of that was a little bit more, I don't want to say negative, just a little bit more concerned about the direction in which the team is going. A lot of the things that we all know can carry this baseball team forward all happened in the 21 hours or so since we talked to Ryan. So what did we see? Did it actually mean anything? Brock's in next. It's Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710 SeattleSports.com.
Seahawks training camp with Wyman and Bob. Afternoons 2 to 7.
Rashid Shaheed is with us. How are you, man?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Did this feel like the perfect fit?
I just felt like I fit the culture so well. Everybody here just works so hard and is so determined each and every day to improve and get better. Where everybody's excited for work. I'm excited to go out and practice and just be around the guys and just, keep our head down and grind towards, our one goal and mission, and that was to win the Super Bowl.
Watch live or later on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Thinking about a new roof or exterior upgrade, but worried about the cost? This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We've created our summertime savings event to make it simple and affordable. Save up to $3,000 off your exterior project or get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. And every qualifying GAF roof is backed by our lifetime Golden Pledge warranty. One call gets you started. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
Hey everyone, Rick Witters with Cressy Door. At Cressy Door, we offer top-of-the-line garage doors, garage door service, and garage door repairs. Residential or commercial, please consider Cressy Door for all of your garage door needs. Cressy Door.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot.
Keep summer going during the Toyota National Sales Event at Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton, with additional inventory at both stores on 2026 Camrys, Corollas, and Prius. Through August 31st, see your North and South Toyota dealers for exceptional offers on cars in the Corolla and Camry families, along with the Prius. Visit either store and test drive one and take that car home the same day. Whether you're in the North or the South, they've got you covered. Visit ToyotaofKirkland.com and ToyotaofRenton.com.
O'Brien. Summer is for letting it rip.
Swung on and missed, ripped it right by it. 7 scoreless innings. Marvelous Miller again.
Summer is for showing out.
Swing and a miss. Woo, 6 up and 6 down.
Summer is for Mariners baseball.
Logan Gilbert, he's knocked down a dozen in a row.
So call your favorite Walter and head to T-Mobile Park, because our pitchers are rolling. From George Kirby to Senor Smoke.
Up in the attic at 101. Nothing but the express tonight for Andres Munoz.
Matilda would be proud. Mariners baseball. Trident's up.
Don't miss out on another great interleague series at T-Mobile Park. Julio Rodriguez and the Mariners are squaring off against Bryce Harper and the Philadelphia Phillies. And the action continues tonight at 6:40 and tomorrow afternoon at 1:10 with a special midweek matinee. Get your tickets for this marquee matchup at mariners.com.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When you see this in your kitchen,
The stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
you hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves, or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Give me a freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Heward and Mark is sorry about just Mike
Heward, not exactly Joe Cap there in the pocket.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
Morning, Brock.
Morning, Michael.
That looked
one
different.
Of those days. Just one of those days.
It is?
Yesterday was just one of those days.
What do you
His
mean?
car gets dinged. Windshield. Spider webs, of course.
Yeah.
Furnace is leaking. Sit down and watch Mariners, and they just get shut down 9-2 and get balls hit over their head. It's just one of those days. Oh, actually,
wait a minute. That's not what happened yesterday.
The last one did not happen.
No, that wasn't true at all. It was exactly the opposite of that. That was what it looks like when they put it all together, right? I mean, isn't that game specifically what we watched last night? That's specifically the reason why it's hard to fully 100% quit this team, even when they're well below 500, even when they drop to 4 or 5 games back. You can't quit that team because they have this talent. And this is why you and I have argued, and why I will never agree with you when you say, is there enough talent? Like, yeah, there is. They have enough talent. They're not putting it together on a common enough basis. But you see it last night. Of course they have enough talent. They just took the best, arguably, one of the 5 or 6 best teams in baseball against one of the best pitchers in baseball, one of the best lineups in baseball, and decimated it. There aren't that many teams that will do that, but they can because they've got that kind of talent. They just haven't put it together.
It's the old ceiling floor conversation, right? We had it about Jalen yesterday and raising your floor as a quarterback, and this is why the Buster Olneys and the Jeff Passans and the national voices also won't quit these guys because when you've done it in the past, right, and you've shown that ability, shown that ceiling, that capability, it is dangerous. And, man, if Cal starts hitting the fastball like you talked about last night, if Ryan Healy is right after watching the last 4, 5, 6 days that some of that timing and certainly on the fastball is starting to come a little bit, you know what is possible with this guy. And 30 home runs is possible. 13 more now over the final 30 games.
Which would be hilarious, by the way. I mean, like, wouldn't that just be hilarious? And by the way, also possible for Julio Rodriguez, who gets to 20 and I mean, that ball last night was absolutely tagged. And, some of that comes back to what Jim Bowden said here on Foul Territory.
I talked to Jerry DePoto. I asked him the same question. Who is your X factor? I thought he was going to say Raleigh. He didn't. He said Julio Rodriguez. I asked him why. He said because he's such a streaky player. And this year he was streaky opposite of normal. What I mean by that is in other years, normally J-Rod gets off to a slow start, finishes strong. This year he got off to a strong start and then has kind of slumped recently. But if J-Rod gets hot, as Jerry DePoto pointed out to me, he can carry this team on the back. Now imagine if both Raleigh and Rodriguez get hot in September. My opinion, there's no stopping Seattle in that case.
There's no stopping them. Well, they might find a way to stop themselves.
On Monday, August 24th, Jim, you're right. They both got hot. They
did.
Hit 4 combined home runs.
On that day, there was no stopping them.
And put Mr. Wheeler into the worst misery he's had all season. By far the worst start he's had.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, so, look. I don't want to say I said at 6 o'clock. I'm not going to come in here today, and they've just unfortunately shown us too many glimpses without following it up. I said I needed them to win 4 out of 5 before I could fully jump on board, but they've won 3 out of 4. They've won 4 out of 6, and they've won 6 out of 9. Now, of the 3 losses that came during that 9, 2 of them were by 17 runs or more. But they really are winning games and regardless of how they look and how they feel, they just need to win games because, luckily for them, most of the teams around them are not winning games very often. The American League West still stinks. The American League wildcard hunt still stinks. Those things are still true. They've never stopped being true. And even as you watch your own team flounder about, they have more talent than the Astros, than the Rangers, than the Guardians, than the Orioles, than the Twins. They're better teams. Mm-hmm. They haven't played as well at times, but they are, I believe, still better than all of those teams. Doesn't say much when you're under 500. Doesn't mean they're going to go to the World Series. I would be very surprised if they could pull that off. Not impossible, but I'd be surprised. But I'm not going to be surprised if they make the playoffs based on how bad the talent is around them and a glimpse of what it can look like when you see a game like last night.
Yeah, I told you I had some friends Saturday night say, is this the moment? Is this the tentpole moment? Finally. And I was like, no, I'm not going to count on 8-9 in the lineup doing what they did, nor the night before where little Leo gets it done and delivers. That's awesome. Is that sustainable? No. What is sustainable is that when your best players start to gain confidence and that ball starts to look like a beach ball. Mm-hmm. And that can happen with Cal and Julio. We've seen stretches of that. We've seen it obviously with Randy. We've seen it for a little stretch with Dom, but in particular, those two guys.
Yeah, and I was also surprised to hear in that Bowden cut from DePoto that he said, well, Julio's the streaky one. It's true. Julio obviously has had big streaks, but Cal has, until last year, been equally streaky. He just went on a 6-month streak last year. But until then, I mean, all of his previous seasons and even going back to the minor leagues, Cal was always hot and cold.
I think that's Jerry just knowing Cal's dealing with more stuff. And Cal takes a beating. And Cal has been physically beaten down this year. Fair. And I think that probably would – I don't know. Don't want to speak for him, but I would probably lean that way. I'd probably answer the same way because Julio has, save for the concussion, remained largely healthy this year. And if he can catch those balls out in front, and you know this, and that's what happened on that 0-2 splitter, just the Wheeler left right in the middle of the plate. He took advantage of it. He didn't miss it. He didn't just foul it off or pound it in the ground. He was out front of it, pull side. And when that starts to happen with Julio.
When you see balls like that,
happen.
When you see Julio hit the ball like that, you just remember that it's different. And it
takes me back to the trajectory machine when you and I and Maura were like, that's what it takes you back to. Like, there's not another guy on the roster in the 40-man that you could put in that cage and start to make it sound and look and hear like, feel like that. It is. It's 235 pounds. Mm-hmm. And yeah, when that bat head is, swung with the ferocity and gets out in front, it's dangerous. It's really, really dangerous. Now the challenge is keep doing it.
Right.
The other positive too about doing this to Wheeler is that's what they did last year. Last year they had a lot of lulls. They would lose to bad pitchers, mm-hmm. and then when they face the Scoobles and when they face the top-notch guys, what usually happened and transpired?
Well, it's so funny, Brock. They did, and it's funny you say that because I was thinking about how many of the great pitchers they've missed this year. They missed Skeens when they were in Pittsburgh. They missed Mizrowski when they were in Milwaukee. They missed Scooble twice with Detroit. Like, it just seemed like everywhere they've gone, they've managed to miss some of the best pitching that is out there. Until yesterday. Yep. And I was like, oh, well, not here. You're going to have to face, they're coming at you, Philadelphia, 1-2-3, and you go out and just tag Zach Wheeler, who is one of the best in the game.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's one of the best pitchers in baseball, and they just absolutely took him apart. And, yes, it was Cal and Julio who did the majority of the damage with the home runs.
Naylor got 3 knocks. Dom got his.
Randy, 3 walks in the game, skin on base, by the way, another home run. Yep. That's a full lineup's worth of damage that was done last night against one of the best pitchers in baseball. Again, one night. It's why you don't panic. So I was thinking about these 2 blowout losses, and we've talked before about the footballization of baseball and some of the problems that comes with it. I do think there is an element where a blowout baseball loss just isn't.
It's not like a football.
It's just not as bad.
No, when you blow the doors off the Saints and the Cardinals, those guys are still trying. They haven't subbed out. They haven't put a position player at quarterback. Like, they're still trying to compete.
You lost some game where they gave up. Mm-hmm. Okay, we're not going to win tonight. Let's move on. We'll see you tomorrow. We're gonna throw our position players, and this game's over. We'll see you tomorrow. It was just a bad night. As opposed to, when the Seahawks get beat down by Pittsburgh or Baltimore in those famous games we've talked about, right? Where they're like, well, we've got to change everything we've done.
You get physically humiliated.
That doesn't happen on one night in baseball. No. Just as much as one win like last night doesn't prove that you're back. I mean, you've got to do it over time. But it is interesting that both times this team has gotten their doors blown off, they've come back and won the next night and scored a whole bunch of runs early in both of those games. Because why? You snap and clear in baseball. Yeah, that was last night. Didn't have it. Let's move on. One pitcher was really bad. So, okay, like one guy just didn't have it last night. It doesn't mean the entire team isn't good enough to continue to win. So we'll see where it goes from here. You got another really good pitching matchup tonight. Kirby's going to have to show up.
Come on, George.
Right? Going up against Nola, who's another really, really good starter for Philadelphia. That lineup, I'm sure, is going to be back and looking to take advantage. So really, really good start to this series. We'll come back. We'll give you guys everything you need to know next.
We got a kid on the mound making his major league debut, 22 years of age.
Welcome to the big leagues, kid.
The first inning, he was off to the races.
Swing and a miss, strike three, and he does. 1, 2, 3, go the Cubs in the first.
After Cade Anderson's much-anticipated debut, what are the takeaways?
Very impressed with this young man. He was really good against a really good team. The Cubs can really hit.
The Cade conversation continues on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
This hour of the Brock and Salk Show is powered by Star Rentals, preferred supplier to the West's best contractors.
You're in charge of ordering boxes. Small boxes, big boxes, really big boxes. You're in charge of tape, labels, mailers, bubble wrap, extra bubble wrap. Just for fun. You're in charge of warehouse cleaning and safety supplies. Good thing there's Uline. Thousands of quality products for your business and warehouse needs, always in stock, ready to ship same day, and backed by Uline's legendary 24/7 customer service. Uline makes it easy because you already do enough. Uline, we warehouse for you.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
7 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
At Farmers, our honesty is contagious.
Wait, am I going to catch honesty?
Well, when you're with Farmers, it's kind of inevitable.
Well, how long does it take to... I lied to you when you asked if I knew what a deductible was. I don't know my dad's birthday, and I thought umbrella policies were for rainstorms. Actual rainstorms. I have it, don't I?
You don't just have honesty.
You have Farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Learn more at farmers.com. Underwritten by Farmers Truck or Fire Insurance Exchanges or affiliate. Products not available in every state.
Dave Wyman here, brand new member of Harborstone Credit Union, and I got my PNW cashback checking account for free. No fees or minimums, and when I make everyday purchases with my Harborstone PNW cashback debit card, I earn up to $30 each month. Gas, groceries, coffee, travel, lunch, all categories count toward your cashback. Open your free account online like I did. Go to harborstone.com/cash or visit one of their 29 branches across the Northwest.
Insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-762-6565. That's 800-762-6565.
For more
more than a century, champions have come to Ellensburg to test their grit in one of the Northwest's greatest sporting traditions. This year, Seattle sports fans have one more chance to experience it live. A full Thursday night performance with the same heart-pounding action, legendary athletes, and famous silver bucking shoots just one night earlier. Make the trip across the mountains Thursday, September 3rd at 5:45 p.m. and be there as a new chapter of Ellensburg rodeo history begins. The West isn't history, it's happening now.
Football, baby! Nobody gets you closer to the action at Seahawks training camp than the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports.
2 years ago, my office launched a major media campaign to identify a key witness to our client's bicycle accident, which we later settled for $10 million. Because when we accept a case, we don't rest until we do everything possible to improve our client's chance of recovery. We're one of only a few firms in the state with an in-house investigation team building our clients' cases. So when you hire Davis Law Group, you don't just get a dedicated and award-winning legal team. You get our commitment to better service and even better results. Request a free consultation today at 206-888-8888.
Are you looking to buy a house, but like everyone, you're priced out of the Bellevue, Kirkland, and Seattle market? Many buyers have the income, the credit, and the desire to own, but simply don't have the down payment, often at least $75,000 just for a starter home. Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue with a great opportunity for home buyers. Introducing our Legacy Opportunity Loan. Legacy Group Capital has a select group of 100 new construction, single-family, and townhomes in the top Western Washington locations. Acquire a new construction home with no down payment, allowable closing costs paid, and a competitive rate. Yes, that's no down payment and some closing costs paid by Legacy. A wise man once said, the hardest part of winning in real estate is just getting in. And now you can with our Legacy Opportunity Loan. So get in the game.
Limited properties available to qualified Washington borrowers. Learn more about this limited opportunity at LegacyG.com. Legacy Group Capital LLC at MLS ID 99045. Visit LegacyG.com for additional program details.
In 2026, Bay Alarm celebrates 80 years of security. For the Puget Sound, that means local service including burglar and fire alarm systems, 24/7 in-house monitoring, and custom security designed to work with business operations. Bay Alarm has real people rooted in your community looking out for your business. After 8 decades and 3 generations of family ownership, our promise is still the same. We got you. Learn more at bayalarm.com.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Presented by Marquee Data. Here's what you need to know. Up first.
That Mariner team can be awfully scary when they put it all together, which, of course, has not been often enough this year. But when you see the glimpse, man, they get on base, they hit home runs. Certainly they got after it early, and it was the big stars doing the damage.
Runners get their leads. Here's the pitch. Julio swinging a drive. Deep to left field. Going. And the Mariners have the lead. 3-1 over the Phillies. Goodbye, baseball. That was a rocket into the Phillies bullpen. Julio Rodriguez with his 20th home run of the season. And I'm telling you, folks, that was a no-doubter.
Yeah, that's a rocket. That's a screaming Mimi. That's a missile. Whatever phrase you like. That ball was destroyed. What was it, 109 off the bat? Just low and long and goodbye. Man, that was crushed. And then Cal gets into it. He hits a home run later in the inning, but he wasn't done. He would hit a second and then later a third.
A 3-1. Swung on. Crushed. Right field. Has he done it again? It is gone. Cal Raleigh, his first 3-homer game of his career. He crushes a solo blast. It's 9-2 Mariners. Cal Raleigh, a monster night.
So Cal gets to 17, Julio to 20, Cole Young to 16. Is Cal back? Well, here's what Cal said.
Yeah, I mean, I think it all starts with the fastball. I think that's been the hard part this year is just, obviously missing some fastballs here and there and put myself in bad counts. I've said it before, I don't feel like, I lose. I don't feel like I lose at bats, when I pop up or strike out. I feel like it's, when you do get that mistake, and at this level in the big leagues, when they do make that mistake, it's about capitalizing on it and making sure that you are moving it forward and you are taking advantage because they're so good.
Salky, when Jim Presley hit 3 home runs on September 1st of 1986, I remember asking myself the same thing. Is Jim Presley back? Is this going to be the night that gets him on a heater for the rest of the month of September? It is pretty awesome. He joins Edgar, who did it twice, Griffey, who did it twice. Even amongst the 60 home run, last year season, he never did it. So this is a first for him, isn't he? As he told Angie after the game, never at any level, high school, college, pop, ever, pro, minors, never a night like last night. And is he back? I mean, tell me he's healthy. Tell me he feels good. Tell me the body is right. If you answer me yes on those things, then yeah, we know he's got an opportunity to put the barrel of the ball, unlike any catcher in the history of this game.
2 more with Philly, Kirby and Nola tonight. Unfortunately, everyone else kind of won yesterday. Texas, Minnesota, Cleveland, all winning. So not a lot of movement in the standings, but an opportunity to get after a very good Phillies team again tonight.
Here's the second thing you need
Well, and
to
then
know.
it's going to be Brian Wu. It looks like for sure tomorrow. He came through, his bullpen's okay, says he should be good to go. Justin Hollander said yesterday he'd be good to go. So now you're back to having 6 starters plus an off day. We'll dig into what that looks like. Somebody moving to the pen, 6-man rotation, IL stint, probably not going to be a problem for Bryce Miller. That sounded like it might be an issue, but here's what Hollander said yesterday.
We checked in with Bryce again yesterday after his conversation with Adam, and he's not concerned about how he feels right now with the report that I got. Again, part of a major league season where you make 30-something starts, or in Bryce's case just a little less than that because he started a little later this year, is trying to understand your own body and what you're feeling and when you need more downtime and when you need less. I think Bryce is not making excuses at all, and I don't think he wanted to come off that way. I do think he was a little bothered by some black soreness when he pushed him back. He has not been on the injury report since August 2nd. He did not want to have an MRI at that time, and even as late as 20 minutes ago expressed that he feels good and ready to go.
All right, so that's good news. Bryce Miller hopefully won't need to go on the IL. J.P. Crawford, it sounds like, is going to return tonight. And even Matt Brash, Brock, making some progress as he was going to throw a bullpen yesterday.
So what do you want to do? You want to roll 6 through? Do you want to put Bryce in the bullpen? We're down to 30 games. I understand it's a fluid, and I think Justin said that as well. I mean, it's just you got to be nimble. This question's
a little different than it was a few weeks ago.
Okay.
There are a couple of really big differences than there were a few weeks. We'll dig into it in greater detail here in 10 minutes. I'll also let you know that Colt Emerson, Brock, done for the year. Shortstop with wrist surgery, which will end the season, but should have him ready for the spring. The overall numbers for the debut season, obviously not great. 190 with an OPS under 600, but how much of that was due to the wrist? Because the numbers started off great for the first month and then obviously tailed off. When we do the most intriguing Mariners heading into next year,
he'll be pretty high.
He's going to be pretty high on that list, trying to figure out exactly who Colt Emerson will be in year number 2.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
All right, shorter week for the Seahawks before they take on Kansas City on Friday. We got another Hard Knocks episode tonight. I admit, I was so excited for Hard Knocks that I thought yesterday was Tuesday, and at 6 o'clock, kept refreshing HBO. I was like, well, why isn't this on? It's the deal. I'm so mad. Oh, it's only Monday. Oh, good job, Mike, idiot. Leonard Williams.
You're Rusty Salt coming back from a week
I know.
off.
That must have been it. Cecily was definitely laughing. She's like, oh, I'm going to text your mom about this. Like, oh, thanks. Appreciate that. Here's Leonard Williams on the Big Dubs podcast with Jamal Williams.
I understand that, it gives guys opportunities, outside of football to, showcase their personality, showcase their interests and hobbies and adventures and anything they want to do outside of football, pretty much. I think it's a cool opportunity to have them here for that. But at the same time, it is interesting because people are acting different for sure.
Yeah. It's weird, ain't it? It's weird when you see when people get in front of a camera.
Yeah, and some of these YNs, some of the young guys on the team, there's a new term going around that I never heard before, but they call it clip farming. So whenever there's a camera around and someone starts acting different or acting extra around the cameras, everybody's like, hey, he clip farming, stuff like that. So
yeah, it be like that sometimes, bro.
It's pretty funny.
Who is it? Who's the clip farmer? I'm looking forward to getting those answers after the fact.
All right, that is everything you need to know. Quarter past every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show.
Are you guys familiar with aura farming?
Aura farming?
Yeah. I think that's where they got clip farming from.
I mean, I know what aura is and I know what farming is. So
how's your aura,
It's
Salk?
just like trying to act cool.
Lame?
To get.
Huh?
Yeah, it's bad. How do you
Really?
think my
Even in
aura
Vegas?
is?
I don't know. You come back from Vegas, get a little more aura.
I mean, that's still pretty bad. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's great. Do you? Do you think I have great aura?
No.
Text in now. What's Salk's aura?
I went to a nightclub with Heather in Vegas. I haven't done that ever.
You did?
Like really
Yeah,
much
what
of ever.
was that
We went to
light thing?
Omnia. They have like this crazy chandelier that's all digital. It comes down, it moves, it flashes. And I realized after years of avoiding clubs, years. I mean, like my friends would go to these clubs sometimes when we were, in college and soon after. And I'd be like, yeah, no. I remember walking into what was the one at Hard Rock Babies. I walked in and was like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I walked right out. But I realized in going with Heather, it's like, oh, the problem I always had with going to the clubs is just being single. Like you go to a club when you're single, like there's some expectation. What I'm gonna find someone and wow her with my good looks and my dancing ability. That's not gonna happen. I'm not good at either of those.
I went to the clubs all the time when I was younger. I just wanted to dance with my girlfriend.
But I don't like
I
dancing.
didn't want anyone to.
No kidding. But more, I'm 24 years old. I don't know any of this. So you go in there and you're like, oh, there's some expectation you're going to meet a girl. Like, no, you're not. But you go there with your wife and you just have each other to dance with. Much less pressure, lots of fun. I really enjoyed it.
I think we need video of you and Heather at the club.
I have dancing? Dirty dancing?
Well,
Did
no.
you pick her up like Swayze did back in the day?
Yeah, that's exactly. Yes, I was just like Patrick Swayze because I'm that kind of a dancer. Yeah, you got me pegged. All right, coming up next, Brock. You wanted to know what I want to do. I don't know what I want to do. I don't think they know what they want to do because none of the options are perfect. So we'll try to work through it together next.
We got a kid on the mound making his major league debut, 22 years of age.
Welcome to the big leagues, kid.
The first inning, he was off to the races.
Swing and a miss, strike three, and he does. 1, 2, 3. Go the Cubs in the first.
After Cade Anderson's much-anticipated debut, what are the takeaways?
Very impressed with this young man.
He was really good against a really good team. The Cubs can really hit.
The Cade conversation continues on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
These 5-star reviews. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and, of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
T-Mobile is launching something no other wireless network offers. Introducing Nothing. Pay nothing today and walk out of the store with a new phone.
What did he say?
Nothing.
You definitely said something about nothing.
Exactly. Go to T-Mobile, pay nothing up front, and leave with a new phone.
Wait, nothing rules.
She gets it.
Hey, thanks for nothing.
For the first time ever, switch to T-Mobile, pay nothing. No taxes, no fees, no money down. And walk out with a new phone. There are 250 reasons to choose T-Mobile, and now nothing is holding you back.
On eligible devices with qualifying credit plan and 36-month finance agreement.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon,
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Others doubted us. Others didn't believe. But for us,
We did not care.
we showed the world what this city is all about.
Congratulations, your Seahawks, Super Bowl 60 champion.
This city lives for Sunday. Get your tickets for Seahawks game days at Seahawks.com today.
Mariners and Phillies tonight at T-Mobile. 6:40 first pitch, 5:30 pregame. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
When it comes to your home's water, Culligan makes it better. Say goodbye to hard water, odors, and rusty iron stains. Plus, a Culligan Whole House PFAS system is the only system certified to reduce 99.99% of forever chemicals and over 70 other harmful contaminants. Start with a free water test and let Culligan recommend the right solution for you and your water. Ask about 12-month, no payment, no interest financing too. Visit Culligan.com. Impurities may not be in your water.
Keep summer going during the Toyota National Sales Event at Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton, with additional inventory at both stores on 2026 Camrys, Corollas, and Prius. Through August 31st, see your North and South Toyota dealers for exceptional offers on cars in the Corolla and Camry families, along with the Prius. Visit either store and test drive one and take that car home the same day. Whether you're in the North or the South, they've got you covered. Visit ToyotaofKirkland.com and ToyotaofRenton.com.
Jake was suffering from osteoarthritis when his doctors asked him to consider surgery.
However, there's a 9-month recovery period where essentially you're not walking and you're not putting much in the way of weight on.
That wasn't going to work for him, so he decided to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I heard the ads, and that caused me to do due diligence.
And how are you doing now?
There's not really any pain now at all. I have no limitations in what I want to do.
Wow, so you're able to do anything you want to do?
I recently played golf at Cycle House down in Pebble Beach, walked 18 holes, which I hadn't been able to do for a number of years, and then went for about a 2-mile walk with my friend.
I take it you'd recommend stem cell therapy to others then?
Absolutely. Had I known then what I know now, I would have done this several years ago and saved myself a lot of pain and suffering and agony and limitation to activity.
Before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
All right, so the Mariners are back to having 6 starters on the Major League roster.
By the way.
What are they going to do?
By the way.
Yeah.
If you peeked at Luis's 4 starts as a White Sox.
Has it been good?
No.
No.
He had one great start,
right.
7 innings, 1 hit against the Reds, and then it was 5 spot, a 4-inning 3 spot, and then against the Mets a couple weeks ago, 2.2 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs, couple bombs, 2 2/3 innings.
Yep.
So not great for the old White Sox and Luis Castillo, but that's not our issue. Now we have our own issue with 6 now, Cade, into the fold. Now we're back to this 6-man conversation.
All right. So what do you want to do? Justin Hollander was asked this question yesterday. Will you go to a 6-man?
We're going to continue to talk about that as a staff. We haven't made any decisions as of today. I don't anticipate a 6-man rotation as like a new thing the Mariners are going to do for the rest of 26 and 27 and 28. We're just going to be a 6-man rotation team. We'll evaluate the situation as we go. So I'll probably have more answers, or Jerry will, or Dan will, as we get towards the end of this week and next week, and just see how things are playing out. Well, most important, we want to do the right thing for everybody's health. And if guys need extra days, we want to be able to provide them extra days. That's more important than anything else.
Okay, so they're not going to go to a six-man forever, and I'm glad to hear that. I think we've seen this year some of the challenges that the six-man rotation brings, specifically in the bullpen, and some of these blowout losses maybe are exacerbated because of the six-man, right, where you just don't have that extra guy in your pen that you need to have. Anyway, does it make sense right now? Not this week, but next week? Yeah. I mean, what's the biggest problem with the six-man rotation is that it leaves you a bullpen arm short.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what's going to happen next week? September call-ups. Now, they're not the way they used to be. You don't get to call up anybody on your 40-man, but you still get to call up one reliever and one hitter. So if you want to call up an extra reliever next week, which I'm sure they'll do, you can now have a six-man rotation and a full pen without a problem. So does it start to make more sense as of next week? Yeah, it does. But let's continue to walk through this. Do you want Bryce Miller in your rotation right now the way he's pitching? We just played you the sound of Justin Hollander saying that he's healthy and that he says that's not a problem. But it's been 7 starts in a row where he really has not been very good. So do you consider... I can't believe I'm going to say this. Do you consider the return of the piggyback, which for all of its faults and flaws, and I think there were many of them, certainly in the way that it was communicated, was pretty good for Bryce Miller. So again, here's Hollander on the piggyback.
I think if it were easy to do any one thing, we would have done that one thing already and just sort of committed to it. It doesn't mean that's, it's right to waffle or to go back and forth. I think that Cade is here because we think he can help us, and he's one of our best starting pitchers today. I wouldn't anticipate Cade going back to the minor leagues or going to the bullpen. But how it works best for the other guys, we will figure out over the course of the next week or so.
All right, so Cade's not going to the minor leagues and he's not going to the bullpen. So start with that. He's not out of this rotation, okay? And neither is Logan Gilbert. I think Logan's shown pretty well that Logan's doing just fine.
Putting some words together. Trying to...
Everybody else?
Yes.
Is kind of open right now. I mean, we've talked about Bryce Miller, but George Kirby's had his struggles. Brian Wu has had his struggles, certainly away from home. Right, so this is...
And do Logan and Wu, those two guys sure seem to be guys of routine, creatures of habit. They've seen perform a little bit better here when there has not been this six-man rotation. Speaking to Miller, Salk, over his last 6 starts, he's allowed 27 earned runs over 30 and 2/3. That's an 8 ERA with 31 hits, 15 walks, and just 21 strikeouts. So the numbers... below the hood are very, very concerning. Not only has the team lost his last 8 starts.
And yet, when you watch him, he started off fine in almost all of those games. It's not been right off the bat where he's just giving it up over and over. It's been as he gets a little bit deeper into the game. So does that make him a better candidate as a piggyback? Does that make him a better candidate as a bullpen arm? I don't know the answer to this one. I do think that the answer probably does focus right now on Bryce Miller. I think you're keeping, obviously, Cade's going to be in the rotation. Logan's going to be in the rotation. I don't think they're going to do anything with George Kirby or Brian Wu. Brian Wu.
Yep.
So, I mean, those 4 guys, they're not going anywhere. So what is this conversation about? It's about Bryce Miller, right?
And maybe about George today. George has also had, 4 of his last 5 have been really rough starts.
Mm-hmm.
Right, he has not shown a propensity to handle some of the adversity and handle his emotions and handle those things. So, is he going to be better? And sorry, George, you're going to go to the pen and we're going to call you in and you're going to ramp it up and you're going to throw 99 and we're going to get an inning or 2 out of you. Is he the one that fits in better there? Does it help unlock Bryce a little bit so he doesn't have to go 5-6 innings and he ramps up to a couple innings? Yeah, I think kind of George and Bryce would be the 2. Mm-hmm. Just because of the data of the last month and a half.
And how hilarious that Emerson Hancock's not even a part of this conversation. He's in the sure thing bet right now,
pretty
right?
Steady Eddie, man.
Yeah,
Pretty
not necessarily the perfect pitcher, not the best guy on the staff, but I don't think there's any doubt that he's in the rotation right now. So, yeah, I think as you start to look at it, I know that Logan's going to be your number 1. I know that Hancock is going to be in the rotation, right?
Wu's going to be in the rotation.
I'm 99% sure on Wu. I'm now 100% sure after what he just said about Cade, that Cade's going to be in there.
So it's George and Miller. and how you massage that, navigate that to get the very best out of him, and also keeping an eye on Mr. Wu's shoulder that we're.
Yeah, I don't think that's much of a conversation then. I honestly just kind of, and I'm not going to use data to make this point. I'm just going to use what we've all seen with our eyes. Because Bryce's struggles have taken place deeper into games, and I don't mean 6th, 7th inning, but, even 3rd, 4th, 5th inning.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of George's struggles are right off the bat. Like, you can tell almost right away whether he's got it or not. I'm going to say that George does not fit as well in either a piggyback or a bullpen spot right now than Bryce does. And I think that Bryce's stuff would play up even more than George's would just by looking at it. I know that's, again, we don't have evidence of that, but that's my gut. And if you're going to piggyback with somebody, it's probably going to be the guy who is on an 80 pitch limit, Cade Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
So what am I going to do?
What are you going to do, Mikey?
I can't believe I'm going to say this because I can't believe it.
Put your leather pants and leather jacket on.
Don't
You
you
wore
do
the
it.
club the other night. You Aura King. Let's
Don't
go.
do it.
I think I'd piggyback Bryce and Cade. I think I would. Again, you're going to get a bullpen arm back this week.
But do you want Cade getting put in that weird situation where he's coming in?
No.
Part of the way through.
Absolutely
and
not.
he's
I want
breaking?
Bryce coming in. I want Cade starting and Bryce coming in.
Cade starting.
Okay.
Yeah. More a Cade starting.
Yeah, I'm going to
for
be
the
very
Aura
clear
farmer.
about that one. Yeah. No, Cade's coming in. Cade's going to start, and Bryce is going to come in. I think that's what I'm doing here. And I don't necessarily, again,
I guess I just thought because Bryce sometimes can only give you like 2 or 3 that you don't know how long.
Okay, then he'll only give me 2 or 3.
Okay.
I mean, like, I'm going to think of him as, because I don't want to be in the same situation you were in with Cade the other day. Oh, well, we need innings and this. Like, no, he shouldn't be doing that right now.
Is Bryce going to become your fireman?
No.
No.
No, I'm just going to bring him in after Cade Anderson.
All right.
I think that's what it's going to be, at least for now. And then obviously everything can
make
change.
Sense.
You're probably going to get Cooper Criswell back at the beginning of September, so that's only about a week. If that's the next arm that is in your pen, he's got a little bit more flexibility than some others. You're going to get hopefully Matt Brash back before it's too long. The needs in the pen, I think, are going to start to diminish. That was always a big part of why I wanted Luis or somebody in the pen earlier, is you had major bullpen issues. But those are about to change with Criswell hopefully returning, Brash hopefully returning, and the ability to add an extra arm to the bullpen.
Vargas getting some
it's just a
innings
different
under his
situation than it was back then. So it takes me a lot of time to kind of figure out how to do this. But I think that's ultimately the answer that I personally would land on.
Mm-hmm. And then just like human being, wiring, personality, nature, that might piss Bryce off a little bit. And you know what? He seems to pitch kind of well when he's a little pissy.
Mm-hmm.
When he was in those piggyback situations, he was pretty hot. He was pretty filthy on the mound. And just kind of temperament-wise and everything, that's certainly not Logan. You're not doing that to Wu. As you said, we walked through this. That's not George. Yeah, I think from a personality standpoint, you put the Texas Rattlesnake with the Louisiana Cajun, and you got a pretty good little mix between those two. Hopefully.
Yeah, 360 is saying, basically, Salk, you're saying you're putting Bryce Miller in the pen. No, not really. I'm not making him, at least for now, I don't think I'd make him a reliever. A reliever is able to come in a couple times a week and pitch just 1 inning, maybe 2. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I'm bringing him in what is, I'm not saying it's the 6th inning per se or the 5th, or I'm going on 80 pitches. Like, look, Cade's going to go 80 pitches. And
might be 4 innings. Might be 5 innings.
Whatever that is. He's going to go roughly 80 pitches. If somebody's got to get him out, Ferrer or whomever's got to get him out of that next inning, fine. And then I'm bringing in Bryce clean to start whatever inning comes up next. And I'm going to let him go until it makes sense to take him out. I think that's how I would do it. I understand why Justin says I don't love any of these options. If one was easy, we'd have done it already. Mm-hmm. But I do think this is the best of all of their available options, given everything else that's happening and given that in a week, not even, you're going to get another member of the bullpen.
Hey, can I hear Justin talking about Matt Brash and cut number 10 here? Just kind of read into these comments a little bit. We know he's thrown some bullpens. We've seen video of it.
Matt Brash is going to throw off the mound today. Again, it's just kind of pen by pen progression. See how it goes. I don't have like a formal timeline on he will be in rehab games on this date. But he'll throw off the mound today. We'll see how that goes, then we'll progress to the next thing day to day. It's a little unusual. Usually you guys don't get to see this part of a progression, but we do think it's good for him to be here, be with Woody and Trent and our training staff every day. So we'll just continue his rehab process. We'll see how today goes, and we'll go from there.
He'd be really nice to get back into this pen.
I was saying that earlier.
It's holy smokes.
6:15. Like it's not just what he's just so much fun, man. It's just so much more fun to watch Matt Brash pitch, and having him as another option so that you don't have to go to Bizzardo so often in the 8th inning. Look, all of these things are good problems to have, and honestly, even getting Cooper Criswell back, if he can throw the way he did early this season, where he was.
And by the way,
he provided a lot of flexibility.
And by the way, like big picture. You're not having these conversations in Houston.
No.
You're not having these conversations in Texas.
Brock,
you're not having these
they've already said they're going to fire the manager at the end of the year, and he's going to be a lame duck for the last month and a half.
These conversations in Baltimore, maybe in Minnesota, they're kind of sneaky. Probably in Cleveland, right? They've done a nice job, and they do a nice job with their organization and their different talent and everything else. Chicago's trying to hold on. Can the White Sox really do this? Are they really capable of making this kind of a turnaround? So there's some other markets that have a bunch of intrigue, but in your division, there's not another team that has these kind of conversations.
Yeah.
This kind of
couple things to know. Question 509: didn't Brash get moved to the 60-day IL? Yes, he did, but it's retroactive. It won't affect his ability to come back. The only real difference in why they did that is that when you're on the 60-day, you don't count towards the 40-man roster versus the 15-day IL you do. So they needed a 40-man spot. They move him. If and when he's ready to go, you can just bring him back. So that will not be a problem. 323. Why pick on Bryce? Woo has had his own issues. Kirby's been a ghost, goes on and on. I would just say it's not picking on him. It's just trying to maximize.
Woo's last few road outings have been good.
Who's?
Woo's.
Yeah, exactly. He's been a little bit better.
Improvement.
Agreed, yes. Look, all three of them have had their issues this year. There's no doubt. It's not picking on Bryce. It's just looking at it and saying what gives you the best chance. And I think right now, a piggyback with Caden Bryce is probably the thing that gives you the best chance. I never thought I'd say it. Let's do some Blue 88.
This is Brock and Salk's Blue 88, brought to you by Culligan Seattle.
We're going to go red, right, tight, close, sprint left, G, U corner, halfback, flat, on one. Ready?
Brock Heward tackles 3 football questions as only he can.
Blue 88.
Now here's your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
Hear what just came out of your mouth.
Huh? I know.
You hear what just came out of your mouth.
I know.
Piggybacker.
I know. It's crazy.
Piggybacker.
Well, trying to.
The Aura Farming Piggybacker.
Or just being open-minded. Whichever. Brock.
Yes, sir.
Hard Knocks tonight. Not last night. Tonight.
No, tonight.
What do you want to see?
I want to see some hard conversations with Jalen Milroe.
What do we have? 2 left? Tonight and 1 more? That's it?
That's it.
Okay.
That's it. Cut downs is kind of the big one the following week, and that plays into maybe I was deep reading on some Terrion Arnold stuff as to why he's not signed yet and everything else. But yeah, I kind of want to see more of the conversation with Jalen Milroe, whether that is Brian Fleury, whether that's Locke and Darnold, whether that's just Mike McDonald pulling him aside. I'd like to see a little bit more coming off of a really, really brutal game for Jalen. And so I want to see that. I don't know. Maybe they just say enough of that. We already did that last week and talked through that, and Jalen's got his own stuff to deal with. What I need to see, Mike, and you and I have chatted about this a little bit more off the air than on the air, I think I need to see more players highlighted. It's been the Mike McDonald show. We had a bunch of guests on last week, Salk, and they all said the same thing, like, man, Mike McDonald's become the star of this show. Through the first couple episodes, I don't think there's any question. Man, Mike McDonald's leadership. Man, all the people Mike talks to. Man, the way Mike communicates. Man, Mike. And I think there's probably a natural turn, and I think the Seahawks do have some editorial say in this. I'd like to kind of see the natural turn go back to the players.
Agreed.
And this hasn't been Mike asking for this. Let me be very crystal clear. This isn't Mike. How did Leo call it? Clip farming?
Mm-hmm.
Mike McDonald's not clip farming. Like, oh, look at me. Look how brilliant I am. It's the antithesis of that, and that's why he's become the darling of the show. But I think it's kind of time to take the optics and the lens a little bit more on the Loves, a little more on the Riley Mills, a little on the Ernest Jones, a little on some of the other guys. Why are you chuckling?
Because I said that earlier today.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah,
well, you and I chatted about this off the
Yeah,
air.
it's something that I feel pretty strongly about. Like, I don't think Mike's done anything wrong at all. Zero. But
Zero.
I do wonder if there's anything, like, are the players watching? It's like, hey, not a lot of focus on the coach. Can we get some of the players? Like, we haven't even seen A.J. Barner. Like, there's a lot of guys we haven't seen.
I'd like to see, and I've heard there's a possibility of this. I'd like to see a little fun made at the Clip Farmers. I'd like to see a little fun at some of these guys that may or may not have tried to put on a little show.
All right, question number 2. Speaking of Jalen Milrose, should have a lot of opportunity. Is he going to play the whole game on Friday?
I would think so. I would.
If you're Jalen Milroe, what do you need to do on Friday night?
You can't grip it too tight. You can't try to force things. That's when bad things happen. That's when they happen in this game. You got to try to find a way, honestly, Salk, to avoid these sacks. Like the sacks, to me, my dad the other day asked, how did Titus, number? I'm like, Dad, I don't really care. What I love the most is he got rid of the ball. He avoided 2 or 3 sacks, kind of new protections, because that's the game. Like, you got to be able to protect yourself. If there was John Gruden 101, when he always did his QB stuff with the young guys, he'd always put Brady and Manning. Why? Because they're the sheriff, right? And they understand what they are and what they're not. And they know that protection is the center of everything. If you don't do that and you don't know who's coming and you can't protect yourself, you can't play at this level. So I would love to see for Jalen in particular in this one. And the Chiefs, by the way, do a bunch of blitzing. Like, that's just the nature of who they are and what they are defensively. So make sure you protect yourself so you can shine. Secondly, you also got to know when you put up some of these performances in the preseason, Salk, and you're not competing with the people in your QB room. There's no fourth on this roster. There's nobody else getting any reps. But they're around the league. And does J.J. McCarthy get cut? Does Anthony Richardson get cut? I mean, there are some names out here that have woefully underperformed. And high-round picks that you kind of know. Like, we've seen this story written with Baker and Sam and these guys. They get moved on, and then they find life elsewhere. So you're also competing on this last preseason game against the rest of the dudes in the league as well.
All right, question number 3. Start to see some roster projections. I know Brady Henderson had his. Our friend Brian Nemhauser's been doing them. What is the obvious position? Like, what are you looking at? What positions are intriguing?
Yeah, the most curious one here over the next, I think, 7 to 10 days, because of other moves and supply chain, is the corner situation.
I was surprised at Brady. He had Igbenogany not making the team.
He did not have Igbenogany making the team.
I was a little surprised by that.
But if you read the next sentence, you understand why.
Yeah, because he doesn't have to go through waivers.
He doesn't have to go through waivers. So you hopefully have enough relationship with him to say, you know how this goes. You're a vested veteran. If you're on the roster week 1, you're guaranteed the rest of the year. Mm-hmm. So, we're going to put you on practice squad, but you're going to be on this roster at some point. We just got to figure this out with Neal, who's hopefully, I don't know, we'll see today whether or not he can practice. That third-round rookie it's been a massive struggle. He's not been available and not healthy. So he kept Pritchett, and then he kept Trayvon Diggs. I think also a TBD. How does he look this week? Can he ramp up? Does his knees sustain? Is he able to function physically and practice one day and practice the next and actually be a contributor? So that corner situation, and to the market, just like Jalen. Hey, man, you're not just competing with the guys in this room, with the guys at the bottom of this. Nope. You're competing with everybody else in the league. When John Schneider was on his walking treadmill, multitasking, what was he doing? He's talking to the agent on one hand, he's walking on the other, and he's got a clicker watching the other pro games going on, the other preseason football, to see what else is out there and how he can always, always, always turn over every stone and add to this roster.
All right, there you go. That is today's Blue 88. Let me remind everyone that the season kicks off September 9th at Lumen Field. You know that already, that Wednesday night game. We want to send you and 3 of your friends to be there in person.
To the opener?
To the opener, Brock. Defending Super Bowl champs, the Seahawks, will open the season against the Patriots in a rematch of said Super Bowl. All you got to do is open the Seattle Sports app to find out how to enter. Now, if you don't already have the app, easy. Text the word app, APP.
You know me.
To 866-979-3776. We'll send you a link to download it. You can enter every day to increase your chances to win. The contest will run through Monday, August 31st. While you're there, you can leave us a message for Here's the Thing, which, of course, we'll do on Thursday this week, as we always do. How was it last week?
Well, it was a little lean.
That's what Morris said.
A little lean, and then some delivered in the fourth quarter. They delivered late.
All right.
Is the opener 2 weeks from tomorrow? Right. Tomorrow's the 26th.
That's right. Yeah.
2 weeks from tomorrow.
Yeah.
And Johnny Treadmill's got a little ring to it, huh? Little Johnny Treadmill.
Does it? I don't know. I don't know whether it has a ring or not. You have to think through that.
What do you think of the walking treadmill? Could you do a show on the walking treadmill? Could you and I?
I mean, probably not. I'd be out of breath.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Well, let's be clear. He's not, on the incline all.
I get it, but still.
Motion is
I
lotion.
like the idea. I like the idea. Yeah, why not?
Right.
Treadmill desks rather than sitting all day? Yeah, I definitely like the idea. Jeff Passan will join us coming up at 8:30. Before we do that, Brock, a very simple, very sincere ode to something beautiful. Next on Brock and Salk.
Are you subscribed to Seattle Sports on YouTube? Then you saw Shannon Drayer's latest digital exclusive first.
The perfect time to inject their prize prospect, Cade Anderson, into the rotation. This rotation has been working with the extra day off for a long time, be it the piggyback, be it the six-man rotation. And if you watch the road trip and the road trip before that, we saw a number of the starters struggle a bit.
Subscribe to Seattle Sports on YouTube and know first.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years guaranteed? Now through August 31st, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years for new Xfinity customers. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, it keeps you protected from online threats. And get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Are you looking to buy a house, but like everyone, you're priced out of the Bellevue, Kirkland, and Seattle market? Many buyers have the income, the credit, and the desire to own, but simply don't have the down payment, often at least $75,000 just for a starter home. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue with a great opportunity for home buyers. Introducing our Legacy Opportunity Loan. Legacy Group Capital has a select group of 100 new construction, single-family, and townhomes in the top Western Washington locations. Acquire a new construction home with no down payment, allowable closing costs paid, and a competitive rate. Yes, that's no down payment and some closing costs paid by Legacy. A wise man once said, the hardest part of winning in real estate is just getting in. And now you can with our Legacy Opportunity Loan. So get in the game.
Limited properties available to qualified Washington borrowers. Learn more about this limited opportunity at LegacyG.com. Legacy Group Capital LLC at MLS ID 99045. Visit LegacyG.com for additional program details.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy. With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
We'll work hard to get you the best deal we can. Those are just words until you know who's saying them. From Lee Johnson, it's a promise you can count on.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
This is a test of your emergency alert system.
Step into Seahawks game day at the Pro Shop, where the roar of the 12s begins. And official Seahawks gear is always within reach.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
This is the Pro Shop. Visit the official store of the Seattle Seahawks, located at Lumen Field and the Landing in Renton.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Give me a freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Ewert is my hero.
Jay Buhner just punched me in the kidney.
We're going to see you on the interview.
It doesn't really work that way, Sherm. This is a show that has my name on it.
It kind of does, though.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Ewert and Mike Salk.
Hello! 509 says, you know how good of a nickname Johnny Treadmill is when it comes from the same mind that had the amazing segment idea of Heward Family Jeopardy. Oh, that's not nice. 509. And I'm only reading it because Brock was taking shots at me during the break. So there you go. That's sort of where we're at. Jeff Passan to join us here in 30 minutes. Maybe it's not quite an ode. Maybe I was exaggerating, but just something pure and simple.
Okay.
And that's just maybe the word that's on my mind is pure. It's one of the things I've just been enjoying about talking Seahawks and watching Hard Knocks. The Seahawks just feel very pure and fun right now. They aren't obnoxious. They don't have obnoxious personalities who are already believing their own press and have gotten too big for themselves or any of that. Their games are going to be stressful, obviously, but, like, don't you believe in their ability to win those games? There's not, like, going in undermanned where you're like, oh, I just don't know if this team can do it. Like, I'm not saying they're going to win every game. They're probably not. And they have a really tough schedule. But if they don't win, it's probably not going to be because they beat themselves, right? Mike McDonald's not going to do anything dumb. He's got a clear process about when to go for it on fourth down and when to punt. And like they have a clarity of their vision. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the offense is going to look like, and maybe they're going to struggle a little bit with Brian Fleury. We just don't know yet. That's still open to be determined because we haven't seen it. But they're going to take a smart approach. It's going to be a mature approach. They have a holistic approach to building their team. There is something very pure and simple right now about this particular Seahawks team. The personalities, and we're getting to see all of that on Hard Knocks. Mike and the way he handles everything. There's not a lot of debate about this team, honestly. There's not that much to debate. I mean, like, trying to think through conversations and subjects, and like, there aren't that many great debates to be had on this team right now. If honestly, one of the bigger conversations is Noah Igbenogany or Nehemiah Pritchett for the last cornerback spot, like, well, then you probably don't have a lot of really big holes on your team, which they don't. I mean, they're smart, they're thoughtful, they're fun, they're clean, they're focused. There's not a lot of drama. Maybe the Terrion Arnold one, or what's the other new guy they just brought in? Maybe
Trayvon Diggs.
Thank you. Maybe one of those two things ends up becoming a bit of a conversation, but they're not committed to either of those guys. It's not like when you had DK Metcalf and you're like, man, I don't know what direction this whole thing is going to go with this guy. too bad you're on the hook for the next 3 years at X amount of money, or with like, all right, if it doesn't go well with Terry and Arnold, what do? Cut him, move on. Like, who cares? It's just not even a. It's not a conversation. You're not. You're not caught up in him in any way. They're very simple.
You know where my mind actually goes with this song? Some years ago, we had this vase fall off the wall, and it cracked the fireplace like mantle or counter thing. This rock thing.
Is it the wall of crosses?
No, not the wall of crosses. Okay. No, different area. And I was like, oh, well, that sucks. Like, how are you going to fix that? Like a chunk of, it wasn't
Humpty
marble.
Dumpty?
Yeah, I have no
the
idea.
Floor, not the vase.
No, not the floor. It was the.
What were you worried about? The floor or the vase?
No, I was not worried about the vase at all. I was worried about like the cracked thing under the fireplace.
Got
like
it. Okay.
The whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, no, there's people that can fix this. I'm like, what? How? And this guy came, and he must have been in his 60s, honestly. And he had his tools and stuff. And he was such an unbelievable craftsman. He took such pride in his work. And sure enough, you wouldn't even know. Like if you walked along the area there by the fire, you wouldn't even know where. Like and you could just tell like he loved what he did. He loved fixing things, and he was a craftsman. That's the word I would come back with. And when I think about this Seahawks team, that's where my mind actually goes. You got a bunch of dudes, and we referenced a ton of them, from JSN to Cooper to Leonard. All like they love what they do, and we've heard this for 20 years. You'd hear this in 31 other markets. Oh, we got to find guys that love ball. We want guys that love ball. And you know what? Richard loved ball. Earl loved ball. These guys love ball, but they kind of loved it for their own credit, as Richard would tell you. And that's what tore that thing apart as it extended on. You don't get that vibe with these guys, right? Like Sam loves ball because he loves ball. Cooper Kupp loves ball because he loves to learn and loves ball and loves being a craftsman. JSN, as we sat with him and talked last week, Salk and Maura would tell you, of all the people we talked to, that one was maybe the most fun because he just lit up talking ball. And they love it for themselves and their talent, but they, just have got it rolling culturally where they do care still about others, and they don't make it about themselves and their numbers and their stats and their contracts and their stuff. So I think that when you say the word
and
pure,
Brock, we don't know how long that will last.
We don't.
I mean,
it becomes harder when guys do get paid.
It is really hard to make those things last. But right now, I mean, look, even the LOB, it lasted into 2014, right? Obviously, it wasn't until the end of that year that things kind of started to skitter around a little bit.
Like 15 when Cam held out and whatever. And
so even that team with all of the personalities and all of the chaos around them, they were able to go 1 year after the Super Bowl win without there really being a tremendous amount of drama, right?
But a Super Bowl loss.
No, I know. Well, then it all obviously at the end of that year it changed. I get it. But like at this point in 2014, there's no drama. They were ready to go. Like,
it was a locker room we celebrated because of all the colorful characters.
Exactly.
And that's the way that Pete wanted it. He wanted the Raiders of the 70s.
And this is different.
And
it's not built like the Raiders of the 70s. It's not built on Pete's personality. It's very different. We're getting to see that in Hard Knocks. And I just wanted to take a moment to celebrate it because it may not last forever. And in this country right now, I'm going to try to say this carefully.
Oh boy.
Things get co-opted. Things that you think are going to be enjoyable for a while end up being co-opted by some of the other stuff that's happening in our country right now. And honestly, what made me think about this last night was I just saw something about Caitlin Clark and Indiana. And I don't even know what it was. It wasn't important. But I was just thinking to myself, man, it was not that long ago that I was really excited to watch Caitlin Clark and really excited about just what, the breath of fresh air that she was and how exciting it was to see her in college basketball at Iowa and then in Indiana and Cecil and I wanted to go to the games and it was just fun. It was cool.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's certainly not the vibe right now at those Indiana Fever games. And I'm not going to get into the issue itself. You don't need to hear that from us. I think you could probably figure out where we all stand. But it's just sad. Like this incredible basketball talent who doesn't have any interest in any of this stuff. And it's all just been sort of, I don't want to say ruined. That's not fair. That probably goes too far. But it's certainly been marred It's certainly been co-opted by a group of arguments in this country that have nothing to do with sports, but people want to fight and argue with each other. So I am excited that we get to watch somewhere between 17 and 21 of these Seahawks games this year. Mm-hmm. Every one of them should matter. Every one of them should have an element of fun factor. Almost all of the games are against good teams. I know they got to play the Cardinals twice, but for the most part, like, they have a really tough schedule against good quality teams. As long as they stay healthy, and I really do hope they stay reasonably healthy, I think we may end up having conversations around this team, Brock, that are a little unique in sports radio because they should be mostly celebratory as opposed to divisive and nitpicky.
Yeah, and mostly all about ball, which is what last year was as well. Like, can Sam Arnold do it? Can he hold on to the ball? Can he make the big plays when it matters? Does Cooper still have stuff in his tank? Can JSN do it again? Can this defense be as ferocious as they were? Just ball, which is what a lot of people do love. By the way, speaking of which, if you could be a craftsman in something, anything, I could just little pixie dust on you and sprinkle it. So you can be a craftsman and a master at this. What do you want to be outside of the amazing teases you give and the radio host that you are?
I mean, I'd love to be an incredible chef. Ooh. And I've said before, I'd love to be able to sing. I would murder a person to have the ability to sing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I would do that.
You would
for sure.
be so obnoxious.
If I could sing? Oh, good luck. There'd be no living with me. No. There'd be no living with me. I'd be impossible to be around. I would sing all the time. But I can't, sadly. But if I could, does that count as being a craftsman?
That's pretty good.
I don't even know.
I'll take those answers.
I don't know if that's a real craftsman. No, I would certainly want that. Jeff Passan can sing. I think we already went over that at some point, right? We've heard Jeff sing. He's going to join us in 20. Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710.
Lyman and Bob at Seahawks training camp. Afternoons 2 to 7.
Byron Murphy is with us. There's always room for improvement in your game. Like, no matter how good you think you are, like, even in the run, like, I know I'm a dominant player in the run. Like, I know I'm a master at it, but it's still always room for improvement. Room to keep working and keep getting better. That's my biggest thing, man. I'm trying to get double-digit sacks this year, so this offseason I really focus on pass rush.
Watch live or later on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
All right, how about a weight loss plan that you could take on vacation? Does that exist? Yeah, it actually does. Go figure. It's called Eastside Weight Loss Clinic, and it works. Plan helped me lose 35 pounds in just 8 weeks. This is not a plan that's going to interrupt your life. You still do get to eat full meals. You can go on vacation. You can include a little cheat day if you have to. It doesn't rule nor ruin your life. Instead, you're eating healthy, fresh meals that you prepare yourself. You buy it all at the grocery store, and then you just watch your body burn fat. The healthy way. No injections, no pills, no monthly payments, no worrying that you're going to gain that weight back as soon as you stop. No, Eastside Weight Loss Clinic comes with a lifestyle training guide to help you build lifelong habits so that weight stays off. Find out if this is right for you. It's a free 15-minute phone call to just get started. You can schedule yours at eastsideweightlossklinic.com. Take that call in the car just while you're commuting to work or running errands or whatever. Remember, the only thing you have to lose is the weight itself. Go to eastsideweightlossklinic.com. Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
This hour is brought to you by Harborstone Credit Union.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
Truck started slow. Battery might be toast.
Slow starts are the first sign of heat damage to your battery. We'll test it, no charge.
Thanks. And if it is dead?
We'll set you up with a new, fully warranted battery, some up to 5 years, and we'll recycle the old one.
Thanks for the rundown. Lead the way.
Get free battery testing, charging, and recycling at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
T-Mobile is launching something no other wireless network offers. Introducing Nothing. Pay nothing today and walk out of the store with a new phone.
What did he say?
Nothing.
You definitely said something about nothing.
Exactly. Go to T-Mobile, pay nothing up front, and leave with a new phone.
Wait, nothing rules.
She gets it.
Hey, thanks for nothing.
For the first time ever, switch to T-Mobile, pay nothing. No taxes, no fees, no money down. And walk out with a new phone. There are 250 reasons to choose T-Mobile, and now nothing is holding you back. On eligible devices with qualifying credit plan and 36-month finance agreement.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net.
Give your home year-round comfort with Day and Night. Install a heat pump, get a free furnace.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Upgrade to a high-efficiency heat pump this month and get a free furnace from Day and Night.
Dayandnight.net.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
Nobody gets you closer to the action at Seahawks training camp than the home of the Seahawks.
I see you, boy!
Seattle Sports.
You know, I used to think all money managers were the same until I spoke with Fisher Investments.
Really? How different are they?
Fisher's investment counselors are dedicated to service, not sales, keeping clients up to date on their portfolio.
Well, they probably just invest in a bunch of mutual funds like I do.
Nope. They build a tailored portfolio based on their clients' personal goals, helping them stay on track for a comfortable retirement.
Well, they must make commissions selling products.
Actually, Fisher doesn't sell any commission-based products. They're a fiduciary, and they believe that's a conflict.
Then they have some kind of complex fee structure.
Nope. Fisher has a simple, transparent fee that's a percentage of their client's portfolio. So they do better when their clients do better.
It sounds like Fisher really is different.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Fisher Investments. Clearly different wealth management. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com/different. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Presented by Marquee Data. Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Yeah, curious to hear Jeff Passan here in 15 minutes, Brock, after what we all witnessed last night, which was, quite frankly, the version of the Mariners we all thought we'd see a lot more often this year. It was Julio in the first inning, then it was Cal a few minutes later.
Ended up winning that game in the 10 innings. Here's a swing and a high fly ball deep to right field. A towering shot. Harper going back, and goodbye baseball. Cal Raleigh with a rainmaker. It almost touched the roof of T-Mobile Park. A 2-run rainbow of a home run off the bat of the Big Dumper, his 15th home run of the season. Mariners' second home run here in the bottom of the first inning, and it's now the Mariners 5 and the Phillies 1. Holy smokes, what a shot by Cal Raleigh.
I kind of like the other two better, I think. Because we've seen some of these rainmakers. You had one in Houston, right? We've seen some of these, but I kind of like the, I don't know, trajectory, pop, flight, however you want to characterize it, of the other two. And to do something he's never done before, and that's hit 3 in one game no matter what the level was. So, yeah, I don't know. We've had, again, through 132 games, lots of these different twists and turns and ups and downs and peaks and valleys. But when your best player gets going and your two most talented players on paper get going, that can be exactly the kind of thing down the sprint of this season this club desperately needs.
Well, it's like exactly what they need, and specifically Cal, who's just been such a non-factor.
I mean, I think, this is the time of year it's about winning, and I think that we all know that's what drives Cal. And the way our team has played, these last 10 days, call it 10 days or so, we've played some of our better baseball, and we've put up some W's, and I think it makes it more fun, and he's a huge contributor to those wins, all the time because of what he does behind the plate. And I think now what we saw tonight, it was a big contributor on both sides of the plate, and just a great ball game for him all around.
Last 15 games for Cal, by the way, you see these stats. Last 15 games, obviously buoyed by last night, but last 15 games, 140 OPS plus, 829 OPS, 364 on base, 465 slug, and 4 home runs.
And it's a team that's won 3 of 4, 4 of 6, 6 of 9. It gets a little exaggerated because those losses have been so ugly, but they find themselves right in the thick of things. Unfortunately, everybody else won last night: Texas, Minnesota, Cleveland. So 2 more with Philly. You got Kirby and Aaron Nola tonight.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Well, we debated it earlier, Brock, with Brian Wu okay, and he's going to make his start tomorrow, and also Bryce Miller okay. Justin Hollander saying yesterday that he's good to go and no injury issues there. You back to 6 guys in the rotation, so what are you going to do? I never thought I'd say it. I think you got to go to a piggyback. And I think it's Kate Anderson starting with Bryce Miller coming in after him. And no, that's not quite the same as moving Bryce to the pen. You're using him in a longer role once a week-ish as opposed to using him for 1 inning over and over. But I do think, and just looking at the fact that they're going to get another reliever added to the roster here in another couple days on September 1st, I think it's what's best for this team right now.
Where do you think Passan goes with that?
I don't know.
20 minutes.
It's a good question.
We chatted last week about Bryce and being the one guy that when Cade does come up, and eventually came up, I think, the next day, like, how does all that work itself out? Who would be the one? And as he kind of went through the Rolodex a week ago, he landed on Bryce. Just stuff-wise and playing up-wise, and really the struggles of the last 7-8 starts for Bryce, too.
And there's an element, Brock. I could understand if you want to move Bryce to the pen, but I think getting Cooper Criswell back next week, getting Matt Brash back hopefully before the end of the year, and being able to add another name
and
to the
Cade
pen
on a pitch limit.
Yeah, I think all of those things together tell me that that's just not. It's not as much what they need right now. When I was upset about the piggyback a couple months ago, it's because I thought they needed help in the pen, and I thought someone like Luis would have been able to provide it. Well, you're in a different situation now, and the Cards play themselves out a little bit differently. Yeah, I think that's actually what's best for them right now. Colt Emerson, done for the year. He has surgery on his wrist. I really hope that thing affected him, because he started off so strong. It was like an 850 OPS in his first month, and then just totally dropped off from there. I've got to hope that those things are connected. And you also got to hope that it's not still bothering J.P. Crawford. Sounds like he could be activated with his wrist injury as soon as today.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Now, you like this Leonard Williams sound, huh? I do too. Talking here about Hard Knocks. Team is back, practicing this week. Short week of practice before Friday night against Kansas City. And then after that, that's it. Then
so it's like
you're in game prep mode.
Today should be a pretty good practice, I would imagine. Couple hours. Wednesday, will be kind of like a Friday practice for a Sunday, Thursday walkthrough, and then they play Friday. And then it's cut down time. Then it gets real.
Well, it's going to get real on Hard Knocks tonight. Here's what Leo said on the Big Dubs pod.
I understand that it gives guys opportunities outside of football to showcase their personality, showcase their interests and hobbies and adventures and anything they want to do outside of football pretty much. I think it's a cool opportunity to have them here for that. But at the same time, it is interesting because people are acting different for sure.
Yeah, it's weird, ain't it? It's literally you see when people get in front of a camera.
Yeah, and some of these YNs, some of the young guys on the team, there's a new term going around that I never heard before, but they call it clip farming. So whenever there's a camera around and someone starts acting different or acting extra around the cameras, everybody's like, hey, you clip farming, stuff like that. So
Yeah, it be like that sometimes, bro.
It's pretty funny.
Would you be clip farm Brock would? If you were on a team that was doing Hard Knocks, you
absolutely would not. Is a backup quarterback?
Brock.
No chance.
That's who you are. An instigator, all of that.
No chance.
Absolutely. You can't. Brock,
But
when
I
you see
know-
different groups
so
of people, you
I
start
know-
talking differently.
I
The
know my
moment that
role
you would
in
not be able to handle the cameras.
I'd be just
No
fine.
chance. No, you would not.
Spend my life
I
in
love you,
cameras.
and you would not.
I'd be just fine.
I was trying to think of a good example of aura farming or clip farming. Remember when AJ Barner jumped into the stands last year against the Rams when we won in the playoffs? That's that's what you're looking for aura farming.
Actually, AJ at the parade, probably a little more aura farming with
Yeah,
the
I
fur
would agree with
coat and the dancing and
That too, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, you're just going to say Travis Kelce all the time. All right, that is everything you need to know. 1:15 here on the Brock and Salk.
Passan was good last week, by the way.
Yeah?
He's always good. He was flexible. He moved around. I think that was the day we had JSN, so we had to bump him to 9:30. I don't know, maybe even a little bit more awake at 9:30, Maura, did we say last week? Like some of our guests, like Divish yesterday, wide awake.
Maybe.
I mean, on fire, hot. Yeah. And Passan a little later in the day was just...
a little extra energy, a little extra juice. All right. Well, hopefully he still has some here in a moment. Jeff will join us next. It's Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com.
Are you subscribed to Seattle Sports on YouTube? Then you saw Shannon Drayer's latest digital exclusive first.
The perfect time to inject their prize prospect, Cade Anderson, into the rotation. This rotation has been working with the extra day off for a long time, be it the piggyback, be it the six-man rotation. And if you watch the road trip and the road trip before that, we saw a number of the starters struggle a bit.
Subscribe to Seattle Sports on YouTube and know first.
Hey, Brock Ewart here, and I love these 60 seconds. I get to brag about my favorite East Side spot to eat. That is, you know it, C-Star Restaurant and Raw Bar. My good friend, Chef John Howie, the guy just never, ever stops. The food, you know it by now. It's incredible. We're talking fresh seafood, and man, is it fresh this time of year. Premier sushi, great steaks, all of it. And now he actually wants to buy you dinner. Yes, here's the deal. You come in Sunday through Thursday, like tonight after 8 p.m. You enjoy your meal as always. And when you're finished, well, you roll the dice. You roll a 6, and Chef John Howie is going to buy your dinner. That means 100% of all food charges going to be removed from your bill. How cool is that? And some of the stories I've heard over the last month or so have been just awesome. So if you're feeling lucky, grab your crew, make a night of it, and come roll the dice. Make your reservation right now at seastarrestaurant.com. That's seastarrestaurant.com.
I want a woman. I want a big girl.
See the hysterical Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias when he takes the stage at Muckleshoot Casino Resort, Saturday, August 29th at 5:30 and 9:30 p.m.
This way, we both can agree on the temperature of the thermostat.
He's sold out stadiums around the world, and now he's coming to Muckleshoot Casino Resort on August 29th. Get tickets before they're gone to laugh out loud with Gabriel Iglesias at muckleshootcasino.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877-CARS-4-KIDS to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to cars4kids.org now, or call 877-CARS-4-KIDS to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
Not all roofs are created equal, and not all warranties are either. This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Right now, take advantage of free lifetime Golden Pledge warranties on all GAF shingle installations and save up to $3,000 or choose 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. Summertime savings won't last forever. Protect your home with a roof you can count on for decades. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
Feeling lucky?
Don't miss the Lucky Fall Classic Collector Car Truck and Boat Auction, Saturday, August 29th at Tacoma's LeMay Marymount Event Center. Up to 200 collector, vintage, and classic vehicles, many going to the highest lucky bidder with absolutely no reserve. Get lucky, get local, and get in line. Visit luckyoldcar.com for a list and pictures of auction vehicles. Or call 206-467-6531 for bidding and consignment details.
Football, baby! Nobody gets you closer to the action at Seahawks training camp than the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Mike Rowe here with a random fact. More than half of the homes that have basements in North America will experience water damage. It's true. Whether it's basement moisture, flooding, or bowing walls, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys. They're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to waterproof your basement and stabilize your walls. Schedule a free inspection with Groundworks, the foundation and waterproofing experts.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Experience the thrill of the Kitsap Fair and Stampede with classic fair fun and food. Delight in the ultimate Pacific Northwest summer tradition. Bring the whole family to enjoy exhilarating carnival rides, midway games, and all your favorite deep-fried, sweet, and savory fair food staples. Kitsap Fair and Stampede runs August 26th through the 30th. Don't miss out on all the fun and excitement. Tickets and info at kitsapfair.org. That's kitsapfair.org.
When it comes to my policy, Farmers gives it to me straight, so there's no surprises.
It's your coverage. You should never be confused.
You hear that? An insurance provider with a conscience.
We're a choir, but yes, we have that too.
Straightforward coverage you can literally understand. That's what you get when
you have Farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Learn more at farmers.com. Underwritten by Farmers Truck or Fire Insurance Exchanges or Affiliate. Products not available in every state.
Hey, baseball fans, Rick Riz here. I'm excited to introduce you to my good friend Keith Dashafy, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Keith?
Thanks, Rick. At Pella Windows and Doors, we pride ourselves on delivering top quality windows and doors that enhance the beauty and energy efficiency of your home. Our products are built to last with innovative designs and exceptional craftsmanship. Whether you're looking to upgrade your windows or install new doors, Pella has you covered.
That's fantastic, Keith. Don't wait. Schedule your free appointment today at PellaPNW.com.
This hour is brought to you by Harborstone Credit Union.
Shut up, Salk. It's Brock and Salk's weekly chat with ESPN senior baseball writer Jeff Passan.
Man, when you have a talent like him.
Brought to you by your Western Washington Toyota dealers.
I see this being the beginning of the best run in the history of this franchise.
On Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Hello, Jeffrey.
Gentlemen, how are you?
Good. Missed you last week.
Salk was in the clubs in Vegas.
Yeah.
He was in the he was clubbing. He was grinding. He was dancing. He was twerking. He was in the clubs in Vegas last week, Jeff.
Hold on.
Yes,
let's go over a couple of those things.
Sure. Yeah.
You were grinding?
No.
Uh-huh.
No.
Not his wife.
You were twerking?
No.
Yeah,
neither of those things are true. That's just Brock being Brock, making stuff up, using words and terms that he doesn't even really understand, let alone.
I'll show him the picture from the club.
I did go to a club. Jeff, I went to a club for the first time in years with my wife. It was fun. Definitely more fun with your wife than like as a single guy in your 20s.
Did you dance?
Yeah, but I did not grind nor twerk. Thankfully,
sure.
I feel like you might have ground.
No, well, I guess what I would say is the dance floor is so crowded, you're not even really doing. You're just sort of like, it's one step up from moshing because there's no room. I mean, everyone just sort of gets pushed into each other.
Thank you. I was actually accurate. But let's get to baseball.
I guess. Did you enjoy Kate Anderson's debut?
Yeah, I thought Kate Anderson's debut was solid. I mean, the breaking stuff is really, really, really quite good. But I think, did I mention the fastball to you guys? I think I did, right? And the different ball?
No, but I read that. I don't know whether you mentioned it last week. I wasn't here, but I read the stuff about the ball and how a AA and below, the ball is a little different than AAA and above. Is that right?
Correct. So double A and below, they use the minor league ball, and the minor league ball is cheaper. It is factory made. It is not hand stitched. At triple A and above, they use the big league ball, and it's got lower seams and it's got different movement profile accordingly. And Cade Anderson's fastball with the big league ball is like a full letter grade or like a full grade below his fastball in the minor leagues. That's just how it is. And the Mariners, historically, guys, you know this, they don't really, when they have a really good pitching prospect, they usually skip them from double A to the big leagues. They've done it with pretty much all their guys who are in the rotation now, I think, aside from Emerson Hancock. But I think Logan Gilbert skipped triple A, George Kirby did, Bryce Miller did. So this is... Yeah, Wu did. Yeah, like this is just the way that the Mariners operate, and it's not like they went into this not knowing how Cade Anderson's fastball plays with the big league ball. They knew it from spring training, right? So they were prepared for this, and you can make the argument that you want him to start a couple of games at AAA to get used to the ball, but the reality is he's used to it. He knows it, and there are going to be some adjustments that need to be made, and Cal Raleigh's going to need to be extremely mindful of just how often he calls the fastball. Not because of how it plays comparatively, but because all the other pitches are so freaking good, guys. Like that was the takeaway from Cade Anderson. To me, it wasn't that the fastball needs work. It's that the other stuff is going to be devastating. And the fastball part, I'm not going to say that will take care of itself, but I think there are absolutely ways to mitigate the issues that it might cause.
So what do you do now? We spent about 10 minutes, Sulky and I, and went through the whole process, and we played some sound from Justin Hollander yesterday. Cade is not going to the bullpen. He is going to start. They've been adamant about that. Asked about Bryce and saying, nope, he's checked, health-wise, and Wu's shoulder should be good to go, and he feels good and will start tomorrow. So what do we do with this rotation now and moving forward?
Feels like we're looking to the sixth man, does it not?
I said earlier, and Jeff, I can't believe I said it because I hated it so much earlier in the year. I think I'd actually go piggyback.
You would piggyback. So who would you piggyback? Wu and Miller?
No, I because Cade is still only throwing 80 pitches, I would have Cade start, and I would have Bryce piggyback on top of him, knowing that you're going to get another reliever back here in, a week on September 1st. You can add to your bullpen. You should get Cooper Criswell back soon, who's got some versatility. You should get Matt Brash back at some point. You just don't have the same need in the bullpen you did earlier. I think I'd actually go piggyback.
Vargas is back already, too. Like, man, I just look at this is the case for literally the entire 2026 Seattle Mariners season. I look at the names that they have in their rotation and bullpen now, and it's like, boy, these guys should be really good.
Right?
Yeah, you're not talking that way in Texas, are you? You're not talking that way in Houston. You're not talking that way in Baltimore. Like, you're not having these conversations in any of those other markets with teams you're competing for the West and the wild card.
Yeah, I mean, the Astros are firing their GM while in first place. The Rangers have clawed their way back to 500 and look like they're in the driver's seat right now. And the Mariners just waiting and hoping that at some point you're going to see something that tells you, okay, it's finally happening, right?
Well, Mount St. Raleigh blew last night. Is that what you were looking for? Were you looking for a night like last night out of Cal?
I mean, it certainly doesn't hurt. I'm not going to say the Mariners are in the position right now because of Cal Raleigh specifically, but his lack of contribution this year has been a defining part of this team. And I just even going back to the Astros series a few series ago, guys, like they finished that thing out strong, and then they get mollywalked by the Brewers 22-0. And then, they play reasonably well against the Brewers for the rest of the series. They win the first two games of the Cubs series, both one-run games. And then another just complete floor wiping, 19-2. So I as the Mariners try and make a push here, I suppose I can come to terms with a blowout loss every now and again. 2 within the same week, it's not ideal, and I think it speaks to the fact that they're still searching. And I know a lot of those runs were put up on position players, but still, it's the feeling after you get absolutely creamed that can be a little tough to shake.
Well, that's been kind of the thing about this team recently, is kind of divorcing the feeling from the facts. The feelings have been awful, right? Even in the 2 of the games you win against Chicago, the feeling was not great. They didn't play particularly well in at least one of them.
Yep.
But the fact is, they win them both. The feeling is awful, and yes, but you're right. It is exacerbated by bad position player pitching. If their position players were better pitchers, then they would have lost by a normal bad score of 15-2 or 12-2 instead of 17 or 22. Like, I just can't get that wrapped up in it. The reality is they've won 3 out of 4, 4 out of 6, and 6 out of 9. Are we seeing the Mariners start to turn into the team we thought they were going to be?
Maybe.
That's such a good answer. It's such an accurate answer.
I mean, like, I want to say yes. I want this belief that I had in this team for far too long to be validated, and I still think that they are the best team in the American League West. Like, that's what I always keep coming back to, guys. There are 30 games left in this season, and somehow they are in a position to still run away with the West, even in that 30-game stretch. What do you think the Mariners need to go to make the playoffs over these last 30 games?
I think they need to win 80.
You think they need to win 80?
Yep.
So you think under 500 gets them in?
Yes. But some of that speaks to just how little I think of the other teams in the American League.
Which would be 17 and 13 over the final 30, to do the math.
Is what?
Yeah.
17 and 13 to win 80 games.
Yeah, I think they can do that. In fact, I think that's what they're going to do.
I think they need to go 19 and 11. I think they need to win 82.
That's harder.
Jeff's on my.
That's harder. Yeah, Jeff, I think these other teams are all so freaking bad. They find all these teams find ways to lose every night. They're awful.
Let's put it this way, though, and guys, we have talked about this in recent weeks. Once they get past the Phillies and the Jays and the Red Sox, A's for 4, Rangers, who you might be up tied at first place with at that point potentially, for 3, A's for 3. Angels for 3, Rockies for 3, Astros for 2, Angels for 4. The last month of the season, last 25 days of the season, the Mariners have the easiest schedule in baseball. If they can't take advantage of that, then they have told us everything that we've tried to avoid believing about them, but have been sucked down into this vortex of mediocrity. And I still don't think necessarily that this team is mediocre. This last month, though, is going to prove unequivocally whether that's the case or not.
So who is the single biggest X factor in them winning 19, going 19-11, win the American League West? Who, just one single X factor on the roster? Who is it?
I think it's probably Cal, right? And you know what? I might not have said that if he hadn't hit 3 home runs last night, because the notion of this being a year that Cal can rescue has not been part of my calculus. I just figured this was a lost year, and the winter was going to be an imperative one for him, and he was going to start 2027 whenever 2027 does start, with the idea that maybe he's not 60 homer Cal Raleigh, but he is most certainly not 2026 Cal Raleigh either. So knowing that there's still something there, that there's still potential and possibility to show us more of a 2025 version than we've seen, I think I think it's on Cal. But I also, Brock, I want to make sure to say this. I think Cal Raleigh can have a bad September and the Mariners still can win. So I don't think everything is like, on his shoulders. But if Cal Raleigh performs the way that we know he can, the Mariners' fortunes, I think, are just so much greater.
It's funny you said that, because one of the questions I had written down for you today was, can a Canzone, Randy Arozarena-led Mariners team get to the playoffs, or does it need to be a Cal/Julio-led team?
No. I think Randy and Dom can be the guys, but they also need the American League West to American League West.
Right.
I think if there's any semblance of competitiveness that the Rangers and Astros are going to throw out there, they're going to need more than a Arozarena and Kenzo.
So, Jeff, you do a wonderful job with us and always have. And I know I hear from baseball people that enjoy this segment because you always bring numbers and perspective that maybe others don't see. So when it comes to Cal Raleigh's numbers, you've done this with pitchers, with Logan's pitch effectiveness and bad luck or BABIP with other guys. When it comes to Cal's numbers in particular, where does Jeff Passan go? Where do you turn to say, ooh, yeah, like I mentioned with Mount St. Helens blowing and Mount St. Cal blowing, like they study these volcanoes and they look at all these different numbers under the soil. Like, what numbers are you looking at with Cal under the hood to really say, ooh, yeah, this thing is percolating and can explode even more?
I am looking at his batted ball profile, and I'm looking at how hard he's hitting the ball and how much he's squaring it up and what his pull rate looks like. Because as we saw last year, guys, when Cal Raleigh is at his best, he's pulling the ball in the air. And last year, his air pull rate, I don't know if it was like 100th percentile, but it was certainly up there. 38.4% of balls were pulled in the air. This year, that's down to 32.4%, which is right around his career average. So I think the more he elevates and the more he pulls, the better he is.
Can you
were all those homers pull side, by the way, last night?
Yes.
They all were, right?
I believe so, yes. Yep. As I'm thinking through
and
it.
Also, I'll say this. There's one pitch that Cal Raleigh absolutely crushed in 2025 that he is getting beaten on consistently in 2026, and that's the fastball. His run value, and this is by StatCast, his run value last year on four-seam fastballs was plus 16. His run value on sinkers was plus 12. This year, run value on four-seam fastballs minus 13 and sinkers is 0.
Yeah.
So how does Cal Raleigh handle velocity, and can he take it and pull it? If he's doing both of those things well, then I think the Mariners could make the playoffs.
There's been a little conversation in the last day or so that surprised me, because I thought this was pretty much a done deal, and I think I still do, but I'll ask you about it. Is there any chance that Randy Arozarena's career continues in Seattle after this season?
Sure. I don't think it's very likely. I think it depends on what the rest of the offseason look like. And guys, this is going to be such a weird offseason. One thing I'm doing this week, I have a free agent preview running in early September, and I'm going to try and get a sense from people of what they think this free agent market's going to look like. And not in terms of talent, because the talent in this free agent market, gentlemen, stinks. The best player is Tarek Skubal, and it is not even close, and he's going to get $400+ million. After Tarek Skubal, the second best player is probably going to be Teruaki Sato. He's a third baseman in Japan having a monster season, which followed a monster season, and he is pretty widely regarded by evaluators as the second best player in the class. After that, it's Seiya Suzuki with the Cubs. It's Randy Arozarena. It's Brandon Lau. Kaima Taira is a 5'8" right-hander in Japan who's sitting 100 in the 7th inning of a start yesterday. Yeah, he's going to be coming over in all likelihood. Not done deal yet, but he'll be there. Casey Mize, Kevin Gossman, Dustin May, Trevor Rogers, Luis Ariz, Jake Bowers, Jazz Chisholm, Adrian Morejón, Nick Martinez, Ian Happ. Like, that's the free agent class this year, guys. So Randy's going to get it back. Are the Mariners going to be the ones who are willing to spend it? Well, I'll say this. Going into this winter and not knowing who's going to be your left fielder or right fielder going forward, I suppose you can put Dom Canzone back out in right field and be fine with that. But needing a corner outfielder, I think they're going to at least entertain the idea of Randy Arozarena. I just don't think that they're going to pay what it's going to take to get him. And when you compound that with the fact that inside the clubhouse, Randy is not always the most beloved of guys, that's probably going to push them away.
132 games of data you now have on this 26th season. In the American League as it stands today with 30 games to go, which team has the highest ceiling to go finish this sprint?
I think the Yankees. I think if the Yankees get Aaron Judge back, if the Yankees get Max Fried back, then you're looking at a team that has the greatest ability to challenge the Dodgers or the Brewers or the Braves or the Cubs or whoever comes out of the National League.
Where do the Mariners fit in this?
I think they're probably second or third with the Rays. And maybe the Red Sox are in there too, because the Red Sox have played really, really good baseball for the better part of like 3 months now. So let's put it this way: I still think the Mariners are among those top 4 teams. The 3 AL East teams and the Mariners, to me, are the ones who are likeliest to win the pennant. And the Mariners, their playoff odds are a lot lower than, say the White Sox or the Guardians, or even at this point, the Rangers. They've got a handy or a healthy advantage playoff odds wise. But the Mariners, you know what? The Mariners are the beautiful girl that's told me no too many times, and I just can't quit it. I just can't stop. I'm just holding out hope that maybe someday.
What was her name?
Makes you a stalker, I think, but okay.
What was her name in elementary or high school? What was her name, Jeff?
You know what? I actually this is purely hypothetical. I mean, my first
Jeff always got the
absolutely
girl.
sincere.
Baseball nerds always get the girl.
Yeah, I was gonna say back in the day, I was just a wuss when it came to walking up. And I was. Hey, you know what? I was gonna be mean and say something, Mike, but the reality is I opened myself up.
Yeah, you kind of walked into this one.
I walked right into.
Well, speaking of walking yourself right into a problem, can you just in 1 minute here explain what the hell the Houston Astros are doing? I don't understand this at all. Why do you're in first place, you fire your GM, and you tell your manager he's done at the end of the year? Can you help?
Joe Espada, for what it's worth, Joe Espada was not told that.
Okay.
That was an incorrect. Reporters sometimes get things wrong. That was one of those. That being said, this is what happens when you have an owner who is too involved, too hands-on, too day-to-day, and doesn't let his baseball people do baseball things. And I'm not suggesting that what Dana Brown did in his 4 years as Houston Astros general manager was by any means great work. Their farm system stinks. Their big league team is mediocre. They have a lot of work to do to fix things there. But firing him now, it's just I'm sorry. It's a pelt. It's a meaningless pelt. There's nothing that the general manager was going to do between August 24th and September 27th that was going to change the course of where the Houston Astros wound up.
How many games the Mariners win before we talk to you next week? Philly for 2, Toronto for 3, and at that point we'll be in game 2 in Boston. 5. So
do we have a game every day between now and
they're
next
off,
Tuesday? No, they're
Thursday.
off. So there's 6 games. I think they go 3 and 3. I think they go 3 and 3. I think they win 1 against Philly. I think they win 1 against Boston, and I think they win 2 against Toronto.
This is such a strange team, man, because I look at it, I think they go 4-2, and I think this team's not going to make the playoffs, which is bizarre. And I have a whole bunch of reasons and things that I've liked over the past week or so, Jeff. And then there are 4 or 5 things they've done over the past week that just make me sick. I mean, letting Kate Anderson pitch when they did, some of the comments about Colt Emerson, some of the decision-making with Bryce Smith. I mean, it honestly, I get ill. And then I also look at it and go, twice they've gotten their doors blown off, come back and scored a bunch of runs in the first inning and won the next day. I've seen relievers with the fire coming off the mound and screaming and yelling and pumped up, and walk-off, come from behind wins, and the Stars doing it and the Nobody's doing it. Like, they're putting together all the things that teams do when they're about ready to, show that they're going to, actually take advantage of their talent. And then they do 2 or 3 of the dumbest things I've ever seen. Julio throwing the ball in the stands, and a week later taking an extra ball because he wasn't ready to play at the beginning of the inning. Like, how can these 2 things be happening at the same time? It's bizarre.
It's baseball.
Sloppy. I'll say this: the one thing that I fear this upcoming week: Jesus Luzardo, Dylan Cease, Jose Soriano, Peyton Tolley. They're not facing jobbers.
No.
They are facing
the best game they've had in a year. Maybe was against Zach Wheeler last night.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Zach Wheeler's been on the struggle bus lately, though. Luzardo and Cease and Soriano and Tolley, not so much.
All right, Jeffrey, we'll talk to you next week. Thank you.
Look forward to it, boys.
All right, the great Jeff Passan. We'll come right back. Brock, we got intriguing Seahawks to talk. We got to go around the NFL. We've got to answer the question jerk a little bit later. We got a busy hour. It's Brock and Salk. Seattle Sports on 710.
Are you subscribed to Seattle Sports on YouTube? Then you saw Seattle Sports' latest Seahawks digital exclusive first.
Seahawks got some good work against Cam Ward and the Titans starters. Coach's message after this was the fact that they are continuing to build and get better. Coach is seeing the progress, and the players are saying things are starting to slow down a little bit so that they can process a little bit quicker on the field.
Subscribe to Seattle Sports on YouTube and know first.
Keep your summer fun going during Toyota's national sales event with Camry. Now through August 31st, lease a new 26 Camry Elite for $339 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing for a contract cost of $15,864. Excludes all applicable taxes and government fees. A negotiable dock fee of $200 is included with approved credit through TFS. Price will vary based on accessories. Call 1-888-48-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Do you have stiff laundry or scale buildup on your sinks and showers? Those are classic signs of hard water. At Culligan, they deliver softer, cleaner water throughout your entire home. A Culligan water softener removes the hardness from your water and extends the life of your appliances. Plus, it can improve the quality of your skin and hair. Ask about 12-month, no payment, no interest financing too. Go to Culligan.com. That's Culligan.com. Contaminants or impurities may not be in your water.
A dark night, a quiet suburb. But for one family, danger lurks just downstairs.
Oh, no. That's just my husband getting a midnight snack.
Guilty. But
We have Xfinity Shield. It has a built-in Wi-Fi feature that detects movement without cameras.
well, what they didn't know is that an even bigger threat lurks online. A hacker.
Actually, Xfinity Cybersecure protects our connected devices, too.
Okay, fine. But what they didn't see coming
is that these features are included with our Wi-Fi. We did. Kind of the whole point.
Well, this one's not getting a sequel.
What if protecting your home and devices could be drama-free? Introducing Xfinity Shield with Wi-Fi features designed to give you peace of mind. Visit Xfinity.com/shield to learn more. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Xfinity Internet and compatible equipment required.
Certain industries expose workers to hazardous chemicals. If you worked in a paper or pulp mill, or in aircraft manufacturing or painting at Boeing, and have a child born with birth defects, your child may be entitled to legal damages as a result of your exposure to such chemicals. Birth defects have been linked to toxic chemicals, metals, and solvents used in these industries. If your child was born with brain or spinal cord damage, organ or limb malformations, blindness, cerebral palsy, genetic damage, or other birth defects, and you're a past or present worker in a paper or pulp mill, aircraft manufacturing, or painting, contact us now toll-free at 1-866-99-TOXIC. Your children may be entitled to legal damages. If you're a past or present worker in a paper or pulp mill or aircraft manufacturing or painting at Boeing, and your child has a birth defect, call toll-free at 1-866-99-TOXIC. Your call is confidential. 1-866-99-TOXIC. Message authorized by Weinstein Cajano, 600 University Street, Suite 1620, Seattle, Washington.
Your old water heater's starting to peter.
DayandNight.net. Day and Night has $150 off installation of any new water heater, including tankless, backed by a free lifetime warranty.
Hi, I'm Bruce. When your old water heater leaks or fails, the damage could be catastrophic. Whether you need an emergency replacement or you're planning ahead before it leaks, give us a call and we'll help you get into hot water again.
Get $150 off installation of any new water heater.
DayandNight.net. You know what you can trust? The protection you get when you bundle home and auto insurance with Progressive. You know what you can't trust? Everything else, apparently. Like when you saw that article that said that thing you eat every day is a superfood and great for your gut health. But then 30 seconds later, a different article warns you to avoid it and it's taking years off your life. Well, which is it? Kind of a big difference there. Anyway, bundle home and auto insurance with Progressive for reliable coverage in a reliably unreliable world. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Want to see the defending Super Bowl champion Seahawks open the 2026 season against the Patriots September 9th?
Seattle Sports is giving away 4 tickets.
Holy catfish! All you have to do is open the Seattle Sports app and enter.
You can enter once a day from August 25th through August 31st to boost your chances.
Full details at seattlesports.com/win.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Get his freaking out!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
I don't read the internet, guys.
Take the bull by the hands.
And Brooke, you are. And Brooke, you are.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Eward and Mike Salk.
All right, final hour of our morning here on the Brock and Salk Show. Thank you, Jeff Passan. Good stuff from him. We will do Answer the Question Jerk at 9:45. So start thinking about some questions. You can send them in now. The earlier, the better, honestly, because it gives me some time and breaks to kind of get everything sorted. 866-979-3776 is the text line. You can send in any question on any subject, and we will get to those at 9:45. 206 asks, has anyone talked about Jed York? No one, nowhere. No one at all has talked about Jed York. We will, though, I think, as part of our trip around the NFL in a half hour. Brock, we'll get to that. Right now, though, we've been counting down all of the top Seahawks, Brock. Today we are on to number 12. 12. That was
number 12.
For the 12s.
12th most intriguing Seahawk, Brock, is Derick Hall. Head neck himself. Derick Hall. Why is he so intriguing? It's funny. If you look at the stats, there's really not that much intriguing about him. Played in 14 games last year. He had all of 30 tackles, and all of 2.0 sacks. 2 sacks for a guy that you decided to pay in the offseason. Everything about him says he's an average player at best, except for watching the tape and listening to everybody else around him and knowing that they chose him over Boye Mafe and said, no, we want this guy to stick around. Why? I think the person who actually probably said it best was Julian Love. And I got plenty of sound from Mike McDonald and from Hall himself, but I think Julian Love sums him up perfectly.
He is just a violent player. I mean, let me think of a play. Tennessee preseason 2024. There's a play where a tight end goes across the ball. That's a crazy play to bring up. But he, like the violence that he had on a tight end spilling, we still show that clip. That's just who he is. He is strong as hell. And he's a motor that's high. Like when you have those two things where somebody's willing to rush the passer but also stop the run, that's how we're built. We don't do that kind of like chasing sack stuff. And he doesn't do that. He's a complete DN for us. And he's just violent. He's probably the most violent person on our defense.
How great is that? And that this is the theme that you hear over and over again when everybody talks about Derick Hall. And maybe you have to because the numbers aren't particularly gaudy, as I just said. But the way he plays, the style in which he plays, there's a reason I really wanted them to re-sign him and a reason why they ultimately did. Here's what Mike McDonald said upon that signing.
As a player, I mean, just a great player that we feel like has a even brighter future. You know, we feel like this is just the beginning of where his career can go. And we've never had a conversation about like what his pass rush productivity has been. You feel it, and you also feel like where it can go. I have no idea how many sacks he has or what he had last year. Don't really care, you know. But I do care about the way he plays and how he plays and what his ability is. And I think that shows you like what we think about him.
Yeah, again, same theme, right? Plays with violence, sets the edge, gets after it. Obviously had a couple of huge plays in the playoffs and specifically in the Super Bowl. I think he bought in, Brock, more than anything else, and I think that he's found a home here.
Yeah, I think it's huge. Just, again, speaking back on the aspect of how they view me upstairs, you know, I think that's huge, and, you know, I love Mike and his staff, and I know they feel the same way about me, and I think that show, obviously, over the last couple of days of what they've done, you know, for me and my family moving forward, and, man, I think it's huge, and, again, bro, it's just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more for me, and I know there's so much greater heights that I can go to in my game of ball, and just continue to work towards that every single day.
All right, so all of these are reasons why Derick Hall is a good player and a good fit for the Seahawks. Why is he so high on the most intriguing countdown? Because is there more there? They decided to pay him. They're looking at him now to go beyond his rookie contract and actually turn himself into one of the better outside linebacker, edge rusher DNs in the game. And that does probably mean you got to finish off some of those plays. You got to get to the quarterback. You got to come up with some of those sacks. And with Boye Mafe gone, yeah, Fowler can fit some of that. But he's the guy they're looking to. He's the one person, Brock, on the edge that they've invested in long term. Chenna's not going to be around too much longer, right? I don't think DeMarcus Lawrence has basically said this year is it, and then he's out. Fowler right now is a one-year deal. He's the guy that they are looking at. So is there an opportunity for him to continue to grow this season?
Go from good to great. I jumped on with Ian and Amber last night, and I said, Seahawks won the Super Bowl for a multitude of reasons. I think 70 strong was very real, but their good players became great, and their great players became elite. And Derick is in that good list. Can he become great? 2 years ago, he had 8 sacks in 2024. None as a rookie, 8 and 24, just 2 on paper last year until the playoff run. None of the playoff stats count, just what they did in the regular season. So he had 8 and 24. That's a reasonable number. And he's going to get more reps and probably start and more opportunities. And if you've watched Hard Knocks, like he's in the middle of everything. Mm-hmm. He also can be an irritant at times to teammates and the coaches on the field, not off the field, on the field. Because what makes him great is no governor, in-your-face, raw, unbelievable power can also be frustrating to practice against. So harnessing that, we've seen him emotionally too get hijacked, and the Jaron Reeds of the world have to come and calm him down, and the Leonard Williams of the world. But again, that's what makes him go, and that big old truck engine of his rev. And I think they're going to be looking for him to go from good to great. And that would mean 8+ sacks in my estimation.
I mean, that's just quadrupling his sack.
But he did it in 24. You did it. You already did it. And you get more bites. Yeah, he should be an 8-sack guy.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm not asking for 12 or 15 or like something absurd, but you pile on his 2.5 in the postseason last year, and again there is no Boye. You're going to be careful with DeMarcus, Dante. You're going to ramp those guys up, play the long game with them, and old Headneck's going to get plenty of opportunity.
Old Headneck. That's probably the reason he's so high in this countdown.
I think I love the way Julian said that too, the way he used those two words, and he is strong as hell.
Yeah, like he's really strong. And then, by the way, what does it say? That as strong as he is, that wrestling match with Leonard Williams, no contest.
No chance.
Leonard just dominates him immediately. All right, there you go. That's number 12, most intriguing Seahawk. We're counting those down every day. Leading up to next Wednesday, well, not a week from tomorrow, 2 weeks from tomorrow when the season begins. We'll have our number 1 most intriguing Seahawk on that day, and then off we go. Brock will be ready to go for this season. Crazy.
Past the halfway mark, Salky. Yeah. One of our most intriguing players, standing with number 11 tomorrow.
He's always going to be high for me, too. I just love Derick Hall. I just enjoy him. I like him as a player. I like him as a player,
You like volatility. You like volatile guys.
I don't mind a little volatility.
Yeah, you like Randy in that way. And, yeah, you don't like the basics. You like the guys with aura. You're an aura farmer.
I think that's sometimes true. I think what I like about those players is that they can be – I think you need to have some of them. I don't think you can build a team off of them. But you've got to have some of them, and I think that they can get discounted at times because Randy.
I mean, you're the Randy of this studio. I mean, you're the head neck of this building.
Sure, yeah. But a guy like Randy, it's easy to discount, right? Because he's frustrating. He's mad. He does a lot of dumb stuff, but you can't ignore the production as long as you can keep it all balanced and in line, right? I think there's probably a Bruce Irvin comp in some ways to Derick Hall, although I admit I like Hall a lot more than I liked Bruce Irvin. And maybe Bruce, I think Bruce took it a little too far. I don't think, I think what I like about Derick is he doesn't. But Derick doesn't take it that far. He's not Bruce Irvin.
I don't know. The mic up the other day of, darn it, Derick, darn it, Derick,
I know.
darn it.
Yeah. I still don't think he takes it to that same point. I mean, it just, in games, the stuff he does, it's just not.
No, Derick.
Yeah.
Darn it, Derick.
I know. I don't think it's quite the same. All right. We got to answer the question, Jerk, in a little over a half hour. More is going to take us around the NFL. There are some really good stories and some really dumb quotes. You're going to want to hear them all. Stick around. It's Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710.
Why are we walking? Let's go! The defending champs are in the home stretch of training camp.
It's filling in the little gaps that really brings this team together.
Stay plugged into the very latest moves, news, and everything Seahawks at seattlesports.com.
I want to see the competition with Diggs here.
And the most important Seahawks conversations.
This Montori Foster, he'll play special teams. He's an absolute dog.
On the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Summer is for letting it rip.
Swung on and missed, ripped it right by it. 7 scoreless innings. Marvelous Miller again.
Summer is for showing out.
Swing and a miss. Woo, 6 up and 6 down.
Summer is for Mariners baseball.
Logan Gilbert, he's knocked down a dozen in a row.
So call your favorite Walter and head to T-Mobile Park because our pitchers are rolling. From George Kirby to Senor Smoke.
Up in the attic at 101. Nothing but the express tonight for Andres Munoz.
Matilda would be proud. Mariners baseball. Tridents up.
Don't miss out on another great interleague series at T-Mobile Park. Julio Rodriguez and the Mariners are squaring off against Bryce Harper and the Philadelphia Phillies. And the action continues tonight at 6:40 and tomorrow afternoon at 1:10 with a special midweek matinee. Get your tickets for this marquee matchup at mariners.com.
Pros, find the right flooring for the job in Lowe's newly redesigned flooring showroom. Shop our expanded assortment of trusted brands and get up to 35% off style selections, Stainmaster, and Stainmaster Pet Protect Special Order Carpet. And while you're here, save $100 on the DeWalt 20-volt max 6 amp hour 2-pack of batteries. Now just $179. Get more of what you need faster and save more where it counts from the ground up. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 8/26 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Need a lift? Levitt Machinery is now your authorized JCB dealer in Washington and Oregon. From telehandlers to track and wheel loaders to excavators, JCB equipment is built to work as hard as you do. Whether you buy, rent, or lease, Levitt Machinery is here to support you. With expert service and local parts in stock, LevittMachinery.com. Talk to Levitt Machinery today. Stack it, reach it, lift it, Levitt.
After years of wear and tear, Joe had osteoarthritis in his wrists and shoulders.
I've pretty much worked out my whole life. I actually decided I'm going to train for a half Ironman triathlon.
The pain was interfering with every part of his life.
Basically, can't sleep, causing those kind of problems, very limited movement.
Joe had surgery, but it wasn't the fix he was looking for.
The doctor told me, he's like, hey, this is just going to be a partial fix. You're going to eventually need joint replacement.
That's when he decided to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
And they're just getting better. I can basically do full motion. I don't have really any pain.
What kinds of things are you able to do now that you weren't before?
I like to golf, and it definitely has made my golf game not as painful. And sleeping. I'm sleeping better because I don't have that aching at night going on and have to roll over.
So, are you recommending this to others?
Oh, everybody I talk to. Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
Before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Mariners and Phillies tonight at T-Mobile. 6:40 first pitch, 5:30 pregame. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
You know what you can trust? The protection you get when you bundle home and auto insurance with Progressive. You know what you can't trust? Everything else, apparently. Like when you saw that article that said that thing you eat every day is a superfood and great for your gut health. But then 30 seconds later, a different article warns you to avoid it and it's taking years off your life. Well, which is it? Kind of a big difference there. Anyway, bundle home and auto insurance with Progressive for reliable coverage in a reliably unreliable world. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Presented by Marquee Data. Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Well, Brock, we got to see the real Mariners last night. No, I don't know that you can say that, but you got to see the ideal Mariners, that's for sure. That's the team that we really hoped we would see a lot more often when this season began. The one where the stars do their thing. It started off with Julio.
Runners get their leads. Here's the pitch. Julio swinging a drive. Deep to left field. Going. And the Mariners have the lead. 3-1 over the Phillies. Goodbye, baseball. That was a rocket into the Phillies bullpen. Julio Rodriguez Divish with his 20th home run of the season. And I'm telling you, folks, that was a no-doubter.
All right, so Julio hits his 20th. Cal followed it up with a 2-run shot, and then he decided to go deep again.
Now the 3-2. Swinging a drive deep to right field. Cal does it again. Goodbye, baseball. Into the lower deck and right. What a night for the big dumper. Cal rounds second, taking a tour around the bases. His 15th home run of the year in the first. Home run number 16 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And the Mariners now lead the Phillies 7-2, and what a night for Cal Raleigh.
Yeah,
the fans are on their feet. A standing ovation behind the first base dugout.
Sorry, Ricky. They
Rick finish.
Sorry
okay?
about
He's got
that.
30 games
My
left.
bad. Sorry, Rick.
Jeez.
I know, that's my bad. He added a couple more. Cal hit 3. And they do it all against Zach Wheeler, one of the best pitchers in the game, sub-3 ERA.
Yeah, I think if you're Zach Wheeler, you put your head on the pillow last night. And to Jeff's point, he has not been blistering hot like some of these guys are going to face. He's had a few little hiccups, nothing like last night. Last night was the worst game of his season by far. But he had an 0-2 count on Julio and a pitch that literally was one of the 5 least hittable splitters in baseball. He just left right center cut in the middle, and Julio didn't miss.
Oh, you think?
And Cal didn't miss.
No.
And they didn't miss the mistakes last night, which has also been a kind of a big part of the 132 games. When they make a mistake, you don't get many of them. And certainly the run of guys are going to get over the next 6-7 days. They saw Cease. You saw Cease on fireworks night. Dude's been basically a no-hitter threat every time out. But when they do make a mistake, you got to capitalize. And last night they sure did.
They absolutely did. So as I said, Cal gets to 17. Julio gets to 20. Cole Young even gets to 16. That gets kind of lost on the big night for some of the big stars. Cal says this is kind of go time.
I think this last month will say a lot about us as a group and us as a team. I think this is kind of where the boys are separated from the men. And I believe in this group, and despite the struggles, whatever it's been this year, that kind of creates endurance, and from endurance you get character, and from character you get hope, and that's what I see in this group. And if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. Kind of having that mentality, and we've endured a lot this year. And
I was waiting for rubber hits the road. Cal, being Carolina boy. I was really thinking that's it.
By the way, how about Cal doing all that last night after getting drilled in the wrist by a foul ball, just like in the first inning? You're like, geez, that looked like it really hurt. No, he's just going to go out there and hit 3 home runs. No big deal. 2 more against Philly. Starting tonight, Kirby and Aaron Nola.
Here's the second thing you need to
And
know.
then tomorrow, Brian Wu. Justin Hollander gave us the update.
Brian felt really good. I was able to watch his flat ground in Milwaukee and his flat ground here before he went out to the pen. I thought it was the right thing to do to follow him out to the pen in either case. But I thought, me personally, he looked very comfortable and very much like Brian Wu on the flat ground here the other day. And from what I understand, it was much better in the pen as well. He feels 100% confident that he's ready to go for his next turn, which is Wednesday.
All right, so 100% confident he should be good to go tomorrow. And, yeah, it leads to this conversation because now you've got 6 again. Brock, as we reasoned through it, I didn't even expect to get there as an answer. But the more we talk through all of the details here, I do think that a piggyback makes the most sense with Cade Anderson starting and probably Bryce Miller coming in after him.
Yeah. All options, and they've got to be, I think, nimble to this and fluid to what happens and how Wu goes and how it feels. And as you said, September 1st, the call-up you're able to make to add another arm into that bullpen, who that is and what that looks like. I mean, there's just a
it's
this
probably,
Mariners season.
If everything goes right, it's probably Cooper Criswell. I mean, like if everything goes right, Criswell probably returns on September 1st, and he's just added. You don't have to send anybody down at the same time, and that gives you not only another quality arm, but also a guy who can be flexible in terms of multiple innings. And at that
and
point,
there's no longer the whole post-September 1st like waiver cut there used to be, right?
No, you can't do that.
Yeah. Bummer.
Well, no, it used to be post-August 1st. You used to be able to do waiver trades between August 1st and September 1st and still have those players be eligible for the playoff roster. That's not true anymore. You can still make deals, et cetera, just that those guys aren't eligible for the playoff roster.
Gotcha.
And you can't call up as many guys as you used to be able to call up. You used to be able to bring up anyone on your 40-man roster Now you can only bring up 2 extra players. So I think it's 1 pitcher, 1 hitter, and my guess is that'll be Cooper Criswell.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
And the Seahawks will be on Hard Knocks tonight. Are you ready? What are you most excited for? Don't you just get excited as soon as you hear the music?
Yeah, I get the goosebumpies.
Me too.
That's what I called them last week, goosebumpies.
Ew.
Yeah, I know. It's wrong.
That's gross.
I got called out for that, and here's the thing.
I wish you wouldn't say things like that.
I know, I'm sorry.
Goosey bumps, yeah.
Oh, goosey bumps? That's even worse.
I know. Yeah. You got the music for me? You want to?
No, I don't. No, now you've grossed me out. I just want this to end. That's everything you need to know. 1/4 every hour.
I got a wolf spider now, by the way. It's a wolf spider.
It is.
It's the biggest spider I've ever seen.
Did you Google image that thing?
Molly sent me the picture. It's the biggest spider I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's a wolf spider.
Sure.
What do I do now? There's a glass over the top of it by the front. What do you do now?
Are they dangerous?
Does it sound like it?
I don't know. Did you Google it?
A wolf spider? Does a wolf spider sound dangerous to you?
I mean, it sounds dangerous, but I don't know if it actually is. They're robust, ground-dwelling arachnids known for actively chasing down prey rather than catching it in webs. Well, that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't see any web with this wolf spider. Just hanging out.
No web, solitary by nature. Okay. They're not dangerous. Their venom is not medically significant to humans.
Okay.
A bite could cause mild pain, redness, or swelling.
All right.
And they're shy, non-aggressive. So I would think you probably want it in your yard to get rid of things that you don't want in there.
Like the rabbits?
Does
it eat rabbits?
I don't know if it eats rabbits. That might be a lot to ask of a wolf spider. But
so you won't kill the spider, but you want it to go kill the rabbits?
No, the spiders causing my lawn no issue. Unlike the rabbits that poo and eat all over and have bare patches everywhere. Because the coyote dens got burned out years ago. This is what happens when the cycle of life gets
What are you talking about? Can we? We need questions. 866-979-3776.
Circle of life.
866-979-3776. Any question on any subject? What do you guys got? Anything. What's going on in your life? What do you want to ask us? We got answers for you. We'll do it in 20 minutes after Maura gives us a full trip around the NFL. Once again, 866-979-3776. It's Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710 Seattle Sports app.
Stick around for Bump and Stacy.
Trademark pending. That's right.
Coming up next at 10.
I feel like I've solved a crime.
You did.
Wow.
Your defense, playing like trash, allowed the Seahawks to claw their way back into the game.
When I read about it and I start to break it down, it's about your overall team. And I think that's the way people have to look at it. Because there was nothing offensively that felt dominant.
Bump and Stacy, next at 10 on Seattle Sports.
Hey, Mike Salk here for Snoqualmie Casino. Look, not all getaways can earn the 4 diamonds, but at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel, you can experience that 4-diamond quality. The world-class gaming, the elevated dining, the entertainment, it all makes for the perfect escape. You have some great shows coming up as well. Taylor Dane is just a few weeks away, September 6th. Queensryche on October 10th. David Spade's coming back in December. Tickets at snocasino.com. Elevate that next getaway at the 4 Diamonds, Seattle's closest, Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Please game responsibly.
Experience the thrill of the Kitsap Fair and Stampede with heart-pounding PRCA rodeo action. Wednesday through Friday at 6:30 p.m. Saturday at 5. Watch top-tier cowboys and cowgirls compete under the lights in bareback riding, barrel racing, steer wrestling, bull riding, team roping, saddle bronc, breakaway, and